too real. I can't go be with a drop.
Good evening. Saturday. I wasn't going to go live. Messy. Hello.
Hello.
You can hear me, yes?
Yes.
Okay. How are you?
Sleepy.
Why? That's all right. I'm grumpy. We need happy and whatever the rest of the fucking dwarves are.
I don't even know. Grumpy, sleepy, happy.
Dopey.
Dopey.
Yeah.
There's more.
Somebody called Dopey. I don't know who that is, but somebody call him. Oh. Long day of random bullshit today. What have you been doing today? Talk to me. There's Grumpy.
Oh.
Wait. Ling Grumpy. How you doing? How was the rest of your day?
Very unproductive.
Me too.
How's yours?
Very unproductive.
Where have you been though?
Hiding.
From?
Everybody.
Why?
Because people suck.
Agreed.
I don't know. I just haven't felt like going live, so I kind of forced myself to do this right now. Steel Quill Reserve. Wow. Been a bit. You want to come up? Tell me about Sound Money? Do you want to yell at me about China? And how I'm a fake Marxist?
You are a fake Marxist. You're a liberal.
I'm Marxist.
You're a liberal.
Nope. Well,
Yeah.
I'm also a liberal.
Ling, did you know that Mojo likes lobbying?
I know.
Politics?
And he thinks that, electing a Democrat's going to save this country.
Vote blue no matter who.
He is a freaking liberal.
He's in a cult.
Yeah.
I'm a pragmatic Marxist.
No, you're a liberal.
This is the system we live in. You got to figure out how to work within the system we live in. We don't get to have a revolution.
You got to dismantle it.
No, you don't get to have a revolution because
Why not?
because people die.
Did anybody die in Nepal?
I wouldn't. I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't think they did. And they organized that shit on Discord.
I don't even know. They instituted a protest, right? And they didn't change the government. They just put a couple new politicians in, right?
I actually really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I didn't follow up on it much, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't all that successful. And it's not like a whole revolution where you're going to change the entire system. Pretty sure that didn't work that way. Joe, can I get your age and who you voted for, please?
Yeah, I'm 26 and I abstained because no candidate earned my vote.
Good job.
I almost did that too, but then I remembered that I'm a grown-up and I went and used my voice to vote.
Yeah, well, I'm also a grown-up that doesn't believe in childish notions like my vote is automatically given to somebody and not earned.
You okay?
Yeah, well, maybe if you believe that your vote should have been earned, we wouldn't be in this situation.
Well, maybe if you would have went and voted for her, he wouldn't have fucking won.
Oh, yeah, Miss Genocide Air. I'm going to go vote for her, definitely.
Better than what we got going on now.
You tell her,
You
Joe.
just stay at home.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, because harm reduction and lesser evil voting has done so much for us. Thank you.
Well,
you
Joe.
can hope for our future.
Feel better.
Joe.
God, man.
You
Joe.
tell them, Joe.
I mean, but seriously, what
Joe.
happened to the
Speak your
belief
truth,
that your
Joe.
vote had value?
Hey, Joe. In the last 40 years, we have become the last world superpower with the largest economy that this world's ever seen and the largest military this world has ever seen. I'm sorry, but if you think the government doesn't have the capability of doing things, you're just sadly mistaken.
What the hell
I
is
don't
that
even know how
supposed to
many
mean?
fucking amendments we have in the Constitution. Talking about government.
Yeah, again, appeal to authority. You're so older and so
How
much
many?
smarter. How
many?
dare
many,
someone
Joe?
in their 20s have an
Jojo,
opposing view to
Jojo,
you?
how many? How many?
19.
Jojo.
19.
Oh, fuck. Who raised
Wait,
you?
could you even vote?
Actually,
In
no,
the
there's,
last
there's
election.
10. There's 10, actually.
No, there's
Joe, he's
not
26.
He just
Not
said
the ones that I like.
Oh, you said 19. Okay. Well, I thought when he said 19, he was talking about his age.
No, that's how many amendments we have in the Constitution.
Gotcha.
Mojo, you're a Marxist, right?
I'm a pragmatic Marxist, yes.
A pragmatic.
He's a
What's that?
liberal.
Like a Marxist
That means-
socialist?
Take it from the white middle-aged woman with her Cash App in her bio. Go start a
I do.
OnlyFans or
Feel
something.
free to send some
Fucking
money my
whore.
way. Ooh.
Wow. I didn't even drop him. He dropped himself.
That wasn't very nice.
He crashed out and
Oh,
dropped
no,
He
himself.
just
fucking
knew
That's
it was
great.
coming.
Mic
Bring
drop.
He
back
left on his
Joe,
own
come
terms.
back. Joe, come
Mhm.
back.
He left on his
No.
own terms.
Fuck
No,
Joe.
Joe.
I teach that boy things, he would blow his mind.
I just wanted to come up real quick and say someone in this panel said 26 with their whole ass chest, and while you guys were litmus testing Joe, that's hilarious.
No,
Why?
he's 26 years old, you fucking idiot. Pay attention.
No, somebody said there's 26.
No, we said
No,
he's
he's
26.
26 years
He said there's
old.
19 amendments. Pay attention.
I don't know. I heard someone say there's 26.
Wait, how many amendments do you think there are?
There's 27.
So even if he said 26, he was fucking wrong.
He thinks one of us said 26.
Right. I think when somebody on the panel said there was 26, thinking that they were duping Joe, making fun of him.
No, we said his
Oh,
age.
no. I thought he said he was 19 years old. I didn't realize that he was saying that there was 19 amendments. And then somebody else told me that he was 26 years old. And then he said there was only 10 amendments. And then he said what he said about Messi and dropped and ran away. So I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Fucking whore was what he said. In case you missed it.
Okay. I don't know. I'll take your words for it.
All
I
right.
thought someone said 26 with their whole ass chest.
You
Yes,
can.
26 years old, D.
It's played on YouTube. You can go rewind it and listen back if you want.
I don't care that much. That's fine. I'll take the L. I don't give a fuck.
Okay. So anyway, propaganda debunker. You and I have gone through this before, but I'm pragmatic because I know that because I'm a Barbie girl living in a Barbie world. I know that we have a capitalist system right now, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to live within that capitalist system. And because I don't want a revolution, because I don't want people to die, I have to figure out how to change that capitalist system we have right now into a socialist system and eventually into communism. So that
you're
makes me
more
a
like an
pragmatic.
Oscar Lange guy than like a Marx guy, or
I have no idea who that is.
he was like a big market socialist guy.
Okay. I'm going to go
got
for
you.
market
So,
socialism.
so
every
you don't
time,
believe
too.
do you believe like in like labor theory and like socially necessary labor time? Or?
I believe that you are required to put a certain amount of labor into getting everybody's basic needs met, and then whatever you do with the rest of your time is up to you. I do believe that all value is created from labor.
So do you think it's like a good standard of value, like to measure value to plan like for surplus and like labor theory?
Value is going to be determined by demand, the actual value, but the value that is created comes from labor.
Okay, but you don't think it's a good measure of value. You just think that like wealth creation comes through labor.
I think that everything that's created comes from labor. So all value is going to derive from labor. The amount of that value is going to be determined in a market style system, some sort of supply and demand.
But do you believe like you can like eliminate scarcity or?
Yeah, I don't think scarcity exists. I think it's
You don't think scarcity exists?
I don't.
So you think like we could centrally plan like the surplus of scarce resources to be properly allocated amongst the individuals.
I think they're
of our society.
Well, what scarce resources are you talking about?
Like food, water, commodities.
The earth is covered in 3/4 water, and we grow enough food in this country to feed the country 10 times over. I'm sorry, these are not scarce resources.
Try growing crops with salt water.
So do we? But like, do we?
We have desalination. We can desalinate water. What do you know?
Okay. Have you ever heard of the Calhoun effect, Mojo?
No.
Okay. All right. I don't know that we can.
So you think not only can we eliminate scarcity, but scarcity is like a myth?
I think scarcity is a myth. I think it's something that is created by capitalism in order to make sure that a profit exists.
So like, what about like raw materials? Like, how do we like plan surplus of like say shoes, for instance, right? Like it takes raw materials to make shoes, right? And we need to meet the demand. You acknowledge that. So like, how do we make sure that we have enough surplus in raw materials to, like meet the demand of the needs of the people?
You can centrally plan a certain amount of clothing, and then anything above and beyond that's not just a basic necessity can be done through co-ops, individual organizations that are run by workers that decide they want to make shoes for fun or for a living or to sell or whatever they want to do with them, and they can trade for whatever goods they want to trade for. Or they can use a store of value like currency.
Sure. So like, okay, what if like we know that like people in a given area need 1,000 shoes, but the labor union you're proposing only has enough leather to make like 800 shoes. Like, how does the market prepare for that?
I didn't say a labor union.
So what like who is the shoemakers? How do they know? Like, how do they prepare, or the central planners? Like, somebody needs to be able to figure out how we fill that gap to meet the demand, right?
Sure. I think everything would be done on a local basis in a community organization. I believe that Karl Marx talked about no government. What I believe no government would be it is a system that is controlled by the people as a whole. So it'd be something akin to a perfect democracy. So you can have a representative democracy of some sort. People can vote in local representatives. Those representatives serve as long as they're in good standing. They can be removed immediately if the people aren't happy with them. And those representatives are the ones that would decide, well, we've got 1,000 people that live in this particular community, so we're going to need 1,000 pairs of shoes, which means we're going to need this many resources, and then the labor that is added to that is the labor that you give to the community as a start.
Sure.
I guess.
So what if the community? What if like? Go ahead.
Hold on.
Did you say there were some people that would make shoes?
I just wanted to ask a question.
Yeah.
Didn't the USSR try central planning, and that essentially and historically led to a surplus of unwanted goods, or led to a surplus of essentials and unwanted goods as well, if I'm not mistaken? Isn't that why the USSR failed with implementing that central planning aspect of Marxism?
I have no idea. Don't really
care. Well, even like just talking philosophically, right? And because like you say, you're like a pragmatic, so you're kind of giving me what you think it would look like, right?
Yeah.
So what happens if this community organization that's managing, the demand of shoes or the production of shoes, like they have enough, maybe they even have enough leather, right, to make the shoes, but now a flood comes by and a bunch of people's shoes get ruined, right? Or somebody goes nuts and takes everybody's shoes and burn them, and like now we only have enough leather to make 500 shoes. Like how if that's what was chosen was leather, right, by these central planners in this community organization, like what do we do now with no alternative, right? Now we don't have enough leather to make shoes for everybody. People don't have shoes.
You make shoes out of a lot of things other than leather.
Yeah,
And
there's
plenty of
You
people
need to
have
plan.
survived without
You need to
shoes.
plan the surplus.
and been
You need to
just
plan
fine.
the surplus.
Well, I don't think so. I think we have global trade. I think global trade still exists. I don't think you have
Yeah,
to
but
plan
people
a
need
surplus.
shoes now. And like you've only acquired, you can only make so much shoes so quick, and you've only acquired so much leather, and now you need to get more leather from another country. You need to have it shipped there, but people need shoes now, and there was no indicator of this. So like now it's impossible to meet the demand.
I would say that
Because we decided that leather was going to be the best choice, but now there's not enough leather to meet the demand. Like, what do we do?
Okay, we still, since it's a market socialist system, each community is going to have markets. Each community is going to have organizations that create shoes. Each community is going to be able to trade for those shoes, and you're going to have things that you have surpluses of, and they're going to have things that they have surpluses of, and you can deal with trade on that front as well.
Yeah, but what happens when they've only planned, like the outside communities have only planned enough surplus for themselves, so they can't sell you the leather.
How many communities exist on the face of the planet?
A lot.
Yeah. Pretty sure somebody's going to have a few extra shoes we can take if we need them.
Wow.
Take. I mean,
So would you
trade
just going to
for
go
it.
take the shoes?
No,
But I'm
trade
saying, what if they
for it.
don't have enough,
I
though,
knew
'cause
you were
they've
going to
only
catch
created
on to
enough
that.
surplus
I
to
knew
meet
you were
the
going to catch
demand
on.
of their
I knew you were going to
community
grab
citizens.
onto that. I knew you were going to grab onto that fucking statement. No, not by take. By take, I mean by trade. There's plenty of communities around the world that we can trade with to get extra shoes if we need them. These
Right,
are
but
things
they're
that we
not
don't.
creating-
These are
they're not creating
things.
enough
These are
surplus
things.
to-
These are things that we don't worry about today. They're things that we're not going to have to worry about in the future either.
There's so much faith at play here, it feels like religion.
But do you know why we don't need to worry about those things today, though?
Because companies out there make shoes, and I think that's still going to exist.
If there's a
Right,
hole
but
in the
we have
market-
we have price signals that we can look at, though, right? We can look at
Price signals
the up
are
and down of
relevant.
pricing and the supply and demand, right? So, but that's how we plan surplus. Like that's even how Keynesians operate. Like
We don't.
to centrally plan the economy.
We don't centrally plan the economy. We don't plan surpluses. Generally speaking, as an organization, you want to be able to create exactly the amount that you can sell at any given time.
Hey, I got a question.
Yeah. You can ask anybody,
During the
by the way. You
Biden
guys don't just have to grill me.
During the Biden administration, Janet Yellen said when inflation was at 9%, that inflation was transitory. What do you guys think about that?
Jenny
She
Yellen's
said that
full of
because
shit.
we're coming out of a pandemic. So, of course, it's transitory.
Coming out of, well, no, this was 2023. This was 3 years after the pandemic.
I'm sorry, the
They
pandemic was
kept
going
saying
through.
it. They kept saying, no, they kept saying it every single time. The press pressed them on why inflation didn't come down. Let's face it, Democrats don't have a clue how to govern
Neither does
politically
MAGA.
or
Neither does
economically
MAGA.
or in
Okay.
domestic or really,
God.
really.
Inflation?
Okay,
Did
so
inflation come?
okay,
Did inflation?
Okay,
does
you
your
gotta stop.
microphone
Stop.
want to
Stop.
shut up
Stop.
for a second?
One at a time. One person at a time.
Chill,
Jesus
dude.
Christ, stop talking over the top
Did-
of them. And you're going off about a bunch of shit right now. Wait, stop.
Unemployment.
Wait, now you're going on
is-
something else. No, stop.
Unemployment is stable.
Stop. First of all, you talk
That's
about
not what we're talking
transitionary.
about, dude.
Wait, first of all, you're
Yeah.
talking about,
Okay.
Deef, you have wicked wind.
Yeah,
Are
I'm on
you-
the beach. I'm sorry. I'm trying to like stay muted. I'm on the beach in my bed.
Okay.
And
Let my son-
Paleo, I don't think I've seen you on the panel before, but I've been gone for a few days, so I apologize. But just so you know, I'll make sure that nobody interrupts you. If you could please not interrupt anybody else. I'm just a mod here, so just doing my job. But please, I'll help you get your word in as well.
I want to clear this up. The first statement that you made, Janet Yellen referred to inflation as transitory in 2021. That's it. It wasn't 2023. You were absolutely incorrect about that.
Yeah, I just wanted to know: was inflation trending down when Biden left office? I mean, I'm a Trump voter, but we have
you
to
guys,
be like,
you guys are in damage control, and
So
you are
Paleo,
liars.
Paleo,
You're absolute liars.
Paleo, Paleo, I'm sorry, I also don't like to mute people, but could you please just let them finish their statement and then absolutely your turn to go ahead, yell and scream if you'd like. But give it a minute, okay?
And I'm pretty sure that you're the one that came up here and lied, sir. You said 2023, and the host just fact-checked your ass, and it was 2021. So what do you think about that? Transitory action.
Can I get an answer to my question before we pivot? Can I get
that term because it wasn't transitory, right, Mojo?
We can go into that, but Deef asked a specific question.
Right.
Well, he did.
I understand. He was mistaken, but Jamie Yellen also came out and
in 2022, she officially acknowledged she was wrong to use the term in early June of 2022. That is correct. She did say that she was wrong about it. However, we were still in the middle of a pandemic in 2022 as well. We were still going through supply chain issues in 2022. So these are issues. She was not incorrect by saying it's transitory, because it is transitory because it was the effects of a global pandemic, which means that once that global pandemic goes away, the rates of inflation are going to drop back down to normal levels. That is the definition of transitory. Right, Donovan?
I do also believe that Deef wanted to chime in. Deef was, I think, at the beach trying to touch sand. So.
Sorry, I'm letting myself.
You guys mute my mic because you don't want to hear.
It's pretty cool, actually.
I'm taking my box back in 1 second, Mojo, if this keeps happening.
Okay, hold on. Paleo, I'm gonna unmute you right now. I need you to be I need to ask you to be an adult. We have normal conversations. If you want to say something and make a statement, please do that, and then allow other people to address that statement. When you come off, don't just start yelling about random things. Just try and stay in line with the conversation that we're having. So we were still stuck on the first thing you said about transitory. Do you care to respond to the transitory comment that you made?
Though we're talking about surplus planning, but we can move on if.
Okay, I guess he doesn't care to talk about transitory now. Okay, anyway.
I hope not. That was embarrassing.
So the initial shock of the inflation was absolutely transitory, but when you inject, and I'll give him the credit or the credence because the ARP and things that were injected into the economy immaturely and unjustly were not transitory. So it was partially transitory. Like, you have to be consistent and fair. But that's why I want him to answer the question as to whether or not CPI, because we all know cumulative inflation is like 20% right now. That's a conversation for a different time. But I want him to answer the question if CPI was trending down before Biden left office or not.
He won't come off mute now. I've invited him to unmute a bunch of times. So, Stephen, if you don't want to have a conversation, I'll just drop you.
He just came up here and derailed. But yeah, I mean, to suggest that like one party is to blame for inflation and deficit spending is just pretty low tier. So not surprised he doesn't have anything of substance to hit.
No, it'll never be with MAGA. Zero substance.
Also, Donovan mentioned that he was kicked. I don't know, Mojo, did you kick him?
I didn't kick him.
All right, can we let him back up?
He has not.
Did anything.
He has not requested. I don't think he did anything either. He has not requested. I didn't see. Damn, now propaganda leaves too. I hope he didn't get kicked. I didn't see anything.
Prop's a good dude. I like Prop.
Prop doesn't like me. Prop has had me blocked the vast majority of the time that I've been on fucking TikTok. I don't know where Donovan is. I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, well, he's private, so none of us really can now.
Be better. I didn't do anything. Don't tell me to be better. I haven't done anything wrong. Holy crap. Yes, it does normally flash on screen, but I didn't see anything. I didn't see anybody get dropped. Vader, go hang out with your libertarian friends.
Don't tell him that. We love Vader. Vader, come hang with us.
Anybody else have anything they want to talk about until these guys come back? I don't know if they're coming back or not.
Well, we could introduce Evan here.
Oh yeah, Evan. I don't even know who brought Evan up, though.
I don't either.
I'm here.
All right,
Who's checking profiles?
Can I get your...
I believe he's a liberal.
All right, can I get your age and who you voted for, please?
55, Donald Trump.
Oh,
50.
my bad.
Do you have anything to add to the conversation we were having?
Well, there's a lot of conversations here on TikTok, and a lot of it's anti-Trump. And I just don't understand why people continue to vote for the establishment politicians, thinking that anything is going to change. The first time I voted was 1992, and America was only $4 trillion in debt at the time. And we're creeping up on $40 trillion worth of debt now. And I don't understand why people think voting Democrat is going to change anything.
Because Democrats are more demand-side economics and Republicans are more supply-side economics. That whole trickle-down voodoo economic thing of Ronald Reagan is the reason that we're in the position we're in today.
Well, are you going to tell me that his economic policies did not work?
I am going to tell you that he tripled the national debt when he was in office. You know that, right?
Well, didn't he also doubled the amount of federal income? He also doubled the amount of income tax revenue received by the federal government in 8 years as well. So did we have an income problem or did we have a spending problem?
And yet somehow he still tripled the national debt. How does he do that when he increases revenue?
You ducked the question.
Wait, you ducked my question.
If I double your income, you didn't ask me a question, sir. If I double your income over the next 8 years, and in 8 years you're 3 times in as much debt, did you have an income problem or did you have a spending problem?
I would say it's both.
How much did we spend in 2025, Evan?
Off the top of my head, sir, I don't know. Probably in excess of $4 trillion.
We spent over the budget by 1.7. So your reference to what he was able to do in terms of revenue from the IRS and the average American is irrelevant when we're still spending over $2 trillion a year over the budget.
All right, but he said that the economic policies of Ronald Reagan didn't work. The economy created 20 million new jobs in 8 years. And revenues to the federal government doubled.
What does Ronald Reagan have to do with Trump?
Well, he said
the host mentioned that Ronald Reagan's so-called trickle-down economic policies are the reason why we are where we are today. He took the top marginal tax rate down from 70% to 28%, and revenues to the federal government somehow doubled in 8 years.
Yeah, the spending problem comes from both sides. I don't really get how no one can see that. Mojo, real quick, I want to clarify because somebody said that you thought I blocked you or something. I deleted my old account. I didn't come on for like 6 months, so I never blocked you. I wasn't here.
Okay, you don't have to defend yourself. It's okay.
Well,
I wasn't attacking you. I just know that you didn't like me.
No, I actually have always given you credit. I get banned more from MAGA panels and libertarian panels than I do from like you've never banned me, so I've always given you credit for that. I just think you should change calling yourself a Marxist because it's too easy to show you don't know much about Marxism. But it doesn't mean I hate you.
Except I do. Except you've never actually taken the time to have a conversation with me. Civics and Palette and I ran Socialist Saturdays for 6 fucking months, where we invited people to come up and challenge our ideas for 6 fucking months, and nobody showed up. I mean, you guys didn't want to ask questions. You didn't want to have a conversation.
Maybe this was the 6 months that I wasn't here, but we've talked in the past, and even just I came up, and you're like, yeah, I don't really know it, but you don't know who Oscar Lange is, and I don't know.
No,
it's just like.
Man, okay. I went to school. I'm sorry. I went to school 30 years ago. I've read all this shit, but I haven't read it since then. So no, I don't necessarily know who the fuck you're talking about, unless it's something modern. And even if it's something modern, I don't read a whole lot nowadays either. My ideas are based on what I read about Marx and develop my own ideology based on what I read about Marx. I am a Marxist, just as Lenin was a Marxist as well.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna come on here and talk about Marxism, though, you should probably brush up on it.
I don't need to. I can defend everything I say. I can defend everything I say.
Do you want the government to take over all major industry in all major businesses in the United States? You want the government running GM or running the pharmaceutical companies or the technology companies? You think the federal government would do a better job?
Until we can move over to socialism, yeah, I think that's a great idea. Once we move over to socialism, it's controlled by the people, not the government.
Well, why don't you socialists create your own companies that do these things, where the people who own the companies? Nobody's stopping you from living in your socialist utopia.
Because monopolies exist in a capitalist market, and you're asking a co-op to start up. You're asking a co-op to start up and compete against Tesla. You are asking a co-op to start up and compete against Tesla immediately. That's not going to happen. So if you're going to do it, God damn it. If you're going to do it, you're going to have to do it by first getting rid of, or in the process of getting rid of, corporations altogether and moving over to a co-op system.
So your idea is not the only way. Your idea can move forward is by destroying other companies who have gone forward. You can't do it on your own. You can't build a better mousetrap. So what you want to do is destroy the companies that have built better mousetraps, so to speak.
No, you don't have to destroy anything.
Well, you just talked about you don't think the government taking over Tesla would destroy the profit motive and the incentive for people to work hard and come up with innovation and innovative ideas? I mean, what has government ever built that's better than the private sector?
The profit motive is the problem here. Profit is stuff.
Well, it doesn't. I mean, every. Oh God, dude. Well, so do you want to have a little bit of money left over every 2 weeks or every week whenever you get paid? Like you pay all your bills and you have some money left over, or do you just want to break even every single week?
I want to own my own labor. That's what I want.
Right. No, I understand that. So nobody.
What do you want, Hale?
Nobody goes into business.
1 second.
Nobody goes into business so that they can break even, though, right?
Evan, I'm so sorry. 1 second. I think Ling Ling was going to try to say something. I don't want to disrupt the conversation, but Ling Ling, I hear you. If you want to write a message in the chat too, if it's something else, absolutely.
I'll stop.
I would love for Evan to have this out. But Scarlett is also new to the panel. Can we get your age, state, and who you voted for, please?
34, Alaska, Trump. I'm nonpartisan. I am not MAGA. I just voted how I wanted to vote. Just want to put that out there.
Okay. Well, thank you. Welcome to the panel. Hale, I think Evan and Mojo were having a back and forth unless I'm misunderstanding.
I just wanted to ask the host if he wants me to wrap this up quickly for him with one question, or if he wants content out of this.
Out of what?
Like, do you want to keep going back and forth with him? Because I can, like, optically end this entire
thing. I don't
just
need
like
you.
One question.
No, I don't need you to do anything.
Yeah. Like I can make people. Yeah, I can make people. I can show people that your worldview is absolute garbage in like one question, and there's no need for this entire economic debate.
Yeah.
Please, I'm all ears.
Yeah. Should I legally be allowed to fuck my dog?
What the fuck?
What?
What does that have to do with the economics?
Can you answer that? It doesn't have
don't
anything
give him
to do
any
with
attention.
economics.
Just drop him.
Wait, why didn't you answer the question? Wait, why didn't you
drop him? He's just here to to disrupt the conversation.
Should it be illegal? Should bestiality be illegal?
What were we talking about?
I have a non.
It doesn't matter if his economics are better.
So here,
if he believes in stuff.
Question here. You know that OpenAI was a co-op originally before they got bought out, right?
I have no idea.
Is he going to answer my question?
No, it's not pertinent to the conversation.
So there have been co-ops that have been innovative and reached the level of, exceptionalism you're talking about. But at the end of the day, the founders eventually give in to, eventually there's a price tag they can't resist, and so they get seduced by self-interest eventually, and that is something that happens.
I mean, the things that you people on the left talk about, if nobody's stopping you from starting a business where you pay the lowest paid employee $30 an hour. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. But
I am going to stop you from stopping your dog, though.
The only thing stopping you from doing that is the fact that you would go out of business
if you don't
because
stop.
you wouldn't. Why is he up here after saying all that in the first place?
I'm his kryptonite, and they know
Evan,
it.
So, don't tell me.
Evan.
No, stop.
No, I'm trying.
Scarlett, don't tell me how to run my panel, Evan.
Oh, I'm not trying to tell you at all, sir. I'm just saying that if you guys could do the things that you say are possible through the magic of socialism, you'd be doing it. But you're not going to go out there in any market and pay a guy who cleans the bathrooms $30 an hour, because that's not the market rate for that labor.
I literally came up to engage with you on this topic. Can I point out some things?
Who?
I'm Evan, the guy who was just talking.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to test his view a little bit.
Go ahead.
So I'm probably left-leaning, but I'm nonpartisan, right? So, whatever. But so I used to work for a subsidiary of the Chinese, government for a couple of years. And so, I've seen how they work a little bit. And what's really funny is how America claims it's capitalist, but functionally it's almost an identical mirror image to how they manage their corporations over there. For example, the CHIPS Act now requires, if you want to get CHIPS Act money, the government needs to have a controlling stake in your company. That's literally what the CCP does over there to control what their companies do. If they're a national champion, BYD, the phone company, I can't remember the name right now, what have you. But we literally operate exactly the same way. And you're arguing innovation, but what's been proven is that government money supercharging private industry does drive innovation pretty much more than anything else. But it's not a capitalist system. And that's not true. That's not true. Government. If an idea works, if it made such good economic sense, you wouldn't have to subsidize it. Okay. I'll agree with you.
If ethanol, like for example, if ethanol was such a great idea,
Tesla.
Well, we shouldn't be subsidizing any private business.
Yeah,
capitalism.
That's the point.
Hold on, guys. Capitalism is private gains. Hold on, sir. It's private gains and private losses, not private gains and socialized losses. It doesn't. It doesn't work that way.
I'll agree with him in a idealistic sense for laissez-faire capitalism. I can see an argument for it, but that's not what we are, and so that's where I disagree, because I can see a very legitimate. And I can respect that viewpoint, and as long as you're not claiming.
But if you have a problem with monopolies, why would you want to create more monopolies by consolidating everything under the government's umbrella?
I don't necessarily have a problem with monopolies, because if big business.
I'm a free market
can you give me
guy. I'm on
1
your side.
second?
I'm asking them.
Can you please give? I don't want to interrupt conversation, but can you give me 1 second, because you're all interrupting each other. I think there's so many opinions on this panel, and I want to hear every single one of them. So if we could go one at a time. I think Scarlett was speaking. I'm sorry if it was you, Evan. I'm just I don't remember. But then I think Propaganda wants to go as well. So if we could go in that order, that'd be wonderful.
I'll be short. Just kind of losing me on the monopoly thing. There are hybrid systems. For example, limiting laissez-faire capitalism to within a geographic area, such as one state. They were doing this with the banks until recently. After 2008, you could not be a multi-state bank. But you could, there's ways to have your cake and eat it too, as long as you structure the economy that way on purpose. I mean, you need government. You can't have anarchy. But I'm just saying you can have laissez-faire capitalists coexisting with people that want government.
Well, we just lost a major airline that a lot of people depended on. This company, Spirit, which by the way took me to South America multiple times on time and very nice people. And the company just went belly up because the government prevented them from merging with JetBlue. Who the hell is the government to say that two companies cannot merge and become one company? I mean, all those planes, all those employees of Spirit would still be in use and likely still be employed. But the government said, no, we don't like how you guys are going to do business, so we're not going to let you merge.
Wait, because that's the creation. That is the government allowing for the creation of a monopoly. That's why.
How is there a monopoly when there are loads of domestic carriers?
But there are only two low-cost carriers, and that was Spirit and JetBlue. That's it. That there were only two of them, and they wanted to merge.
And Frontier.
No, Frontier doesn't compete with those two either.
I've always found their prices to be pretty darn low.
You can find whatever you want, but they're the only low cost alternative that we have in the market. That's exactly why they didn't allow them to merge, because it was going to take competition out of the marketplace. Yes, we ended up with a place where competition doesn't exist. Yes, we ended up with a place where competition doesn't exist right now, but we end up with one particular carrier that is a lot smaller than it would be if it had merged. Because if it had merged, then it's probably too big to compete against. But now we're in a situation where would you please let me finish my fucking statement? Now we're in a situation where it is a much smaller company that can be competed against, so somebody else can start up another company right now, where they couldn't do so if we allowed the two companies to merge.
Well, now we've got now you have a whole fleet of planes on the ground and all these employees out of a job.
And somebody can come buy those planes up and start another low-cost carrier. But they wouldn't have been able to do that if you allowed the merge to go through.
Sure, they would. There's nothing stopping. Absolutely, they would. There's nothing stopping investors and entrepreneurs getting together to start another low-cost carrier.
Yeah, there is, because now that's like saying that you're going to start a mom and pop against Walmart.
Well, but see, mom and pop stores, you can stop. You can. Nothing stops anybody from opening up a mom and pop.
Yes,
sure
they do.
Why can't you?
Because you can't compete on price. Period. Ever.
Well,
economies of scale make sure that doesn't happen.
So the alternative was to put Spirit and all the employees out of business and out of a job.
The alternative
now we have less planes to take people places, and that you think that's not going to increase demand for other carriers to take.
Leased. They'll be picked up by another airliner.
They might be. They might.
They absolutely will be.
Hold on. Right. So now the demand for travel, the demand for travel is not going to go down. But we have one less carrier to take people places.
For a short period.
Right.
For a short period until somebody else buys up those planes and starts another low-cost carrier.
Yeah, but there was no need for the government to step in, and this
I just gave you a reason why they needed to step in.
The government ruins. They don't need to step in. The government meddling in capitalism is the reason why things are bad.
Wait. I'm sorry. Can I just ask a quick question? Because maybe, and like, again, not feeling 100% right now, still sick. But, Evan, so if there's a business model out there that's failing and like they want to merge with another company because they can't sustain on their own, you think that's capitalism at its best?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So,
bigger companies, bigger companies, if they see an opportunity to buy a smaller company that is struggling for whatever reason, that bigger company should be able to come in and buy that company and buy all of its assets and all of its liabilities.
Sorry.
I worked in banking for.
Which one was your company?
I'm really not sure which one was bigger, but obviously JetBlue was doing better financially.
Can I share a real world example of like a middle ground here? And it's kind of what the other guy was mentioning. So if you allow, one moment.
I think it's amazing that you want the government.
If you allow the assets to go up for sale individually, which is what Alaska does when one of their airlines goes out of business, anybody can come and buy one of their assets piecemeal. You allow the market to still work, but you don't allow one player to snatch up all the assets at a vast discount without allowing competition for seizing those assets by other players. So forcing them to sell their assets piece by piece is a much more capitalist way of solving it rather than mergers under that logic. And it works in Alaska. They do it all the time.
Well, I mean, I worked in banking for 12 years. I was part of mergers. I was with a company that got bought out. When my bank got bought out by Bank One, which got later bought out by J.P. Morgan. I mean, they made a deal. They made an offer. The majority of shareholders agreed to sell out to the bigger company, and most people kept their jobs. I mean, the alternative was to watch our profits go down and our share of the marketplace go down. But no, the bigger company came in and rescued us, and everybody got to keep their job, except for me. I got fired. But anyhow.
I don't know, maybe a fair compromise is if you're showing profits, you can merge. If you're showing losses, you should be forced to go bankrupt.
I think either way, you're creating a situation where your free market economy creates monopolies.
And so and I'd like to just point this out, Evan. So if we look at this in a different industry, so if we look at like the fast food industry, if McDonald's is failing and so they wanted to merge with Burger King, what does that do? Because they own so much real estate. So now that it's one company that's taking over the majority of the market of other fast food companies, their prices are going to be much cheaper because they can buy at a larger rate. And then they're going to take down all of the other companies because they can't compete.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point of this.
That's capitalism. That's capitalism.
That's
it's
not
competition.
Capitalism.
It is capitalism because when you let the consumer choose, the cream rises to the top. The best company out there goes to the top.
And then you end up with one company that controls. Then you end up with one company that controls everything. That would be a monopolistic. That would be
because then Wendy's would have to buy Arby's, and then when Arby's and Wendy's failed, then they'd have to buy McDonald's that merged with Burger King. Then that's how you end up with one company.
And before you know it, every company is. And before you know it, every company is owned by Taco Bell.
All right, and if the consumer loves that, and they're getting good value for their buck, and the business is booming and customer satisfaction is high, what's wrong with that?
And if
when there's a monopoly, you're not going to get your money or a bang for your buck. They're going to jack up your price, and you're going to have to pay for it. You don't have a choice.
Well, prices are based on supply and demand, anyways.
Right. When you have a monopoly,
BYD and
there's no supply.
BYD and K trucks have been banned in the United States because they're better, they're cheaper, and they would basically bankrupt or force loss of profits on American companies. And we already bailed out the auto industry, twice?
Which is a bad idea.
Innovation that the consumer's getting, and it's not innovation, it's not better prices, it's literally a worse product at a higher price that a lot of people aren't happy with, and they would love to buy these cheaper vehicles, but they're not allowed to because of protectionism and monopolistic activity, which, they intermingle. But, I mean, the auto industry and the non-free market we've created for the auto industry in the United States kind of disproves your argument about, if the consumer loves blah, blah, blah. If you lack a choice, there is no way to trigger through the economy.
You're cutting out, Scarlett.
That you like something because there's only one choice.
But there isn't only one choice. We have Japanese cars, we have Korean cars, we have German cars, and that competition, in my opinion, has made American cars better. I think American cars have gotten a whole lot better in the last 15 years at least. They're more reliable, they're more efficient.
Because of what you're saying is competition, right? So then we go back to the fact that if you create all of these companies that can merge together, and then they have to buy out the other companies because those companies can't survive, so then again we end up with a monopoly and one company, and you have a lack of choice. And that is anti-capitalism, in my opinion.
If the monopoly is meeting the needs of they said the same thing about Microsoft. That Microsoft Windows was monopolizing the industry. Well, I've never, other than a Mac, I've never had a computer that runs on anything besides Windows. So obviously it's a very good. A very good product. People are buying it. People are crazy about it. The stock has done very well.
You realize that they broke up Microsoft, right?
I know that there was it antitrust? Wasn't there like a big lawsuit and Bill Gates was big?
Yes, they had to break apart.
Microsoft
they had to break. What the fuck? They had to break apart portions of the operating system, including JavaScript. They had to get rid of that, or they had to allow JavaScript to go on its own. They created a situation where Internet Explorer wasn't the only web browser that you could use. There were a lot of other things that were broken off of Microsoft to allow competition through operating systems. So there was a big antitrust lawsuit about that.
Yeah, I remember. I do remember that.
And I do want to think, because I think UK brought something good up in the comments. Because Evan, so let's say in the car example again, there's only one car company to choose from, and that car company is wonderful, right? But what if they go under? What if something happens and they cannot afford to be in business anymore? Who has to bail them out?
Well, there should be no bailouts. There shouldn't.
There shouldn't be, but then we have no cars. Then we lose access to cars because there's only one company, and yet we can't bail them out because there shouldn't be bailouts.
I don't think it would. I really don't think it would work that way, because in a freer market, you would have entrepreneurs and investors who would be willing to get together and start a new car company.
Yeah, but this is the same problem that everybody was giving me about the shoes.
How old are you, Evan?
I'm 55.
Wait. Rue, can I get your age and who you voted for, please? Welcome to the panel. Rue, do you know you're up here?
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Did you know you're up here?
That was just an echo. We were just echoing off of the background there.
Okay.
Anyway, I think that your laissez-faire system just doesn't work. It leads to monopolies. It leads to oligopolies. It leads to one corporation controlling everything. If given,
where has your economic model actually worked, though, Mojo?
It hasn't.
Okay.
It's never been tried.
You should admit that.
Well, it's never been tried.
Okay. That's what people on your side always say, that that wasn't real socialism, or that wasn't real communism. I mean, the world runs on greed. Okay, everybody is greedy. Everybody has more than they need. Everybody wants more than they have. Okay, and it's that.
Here it is.
I'm sorry?
Here I am again. Here I am on human nature again. What the fuck?
So you don't want, CS, you don't want more money?
That's messy. Kami-dami.
You're operating from a capitalistic mindset, so you're inherently biased in your worldview. You have to understand that.
I don't know anybody who wouldn't want more money.
At the cost of who? At the cost of who? Well, if it involves having to hurt other people in order to get that money, then no, I don't fucking want it.
Well, I don't want to hurt other people, okay? But if there's a company out there that's going to give me a 20% raise, or my company's going to offer me a different position where I make more money, or more stock options or stuff like that. I mean, I've got right now I have an 85% return on investment in my Roth IRA because of the stocks that I've bought over the last 10 years. Is that wrong? Did I do something wrong? I mean, I invested tens of thousands of dollars and I've made a return of over 80%. Shouldn't that be enough?
Shouldn't that be plenty then? I don't even have a Roth IRA. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. It's 70% or 80%.
You should look it up. It'll help you when retirement age is coming.
Here's an anecdotal. I run a business. I just had an estimate today. The guy's asking me about a French drain. I could sell him this. I can make an extra $6,000. He doesn't need it. So there's different kinds of capital. One is money. Another is social. And I remember I used to work for a Chinese company. I'd make $6,000, but if I go around screwing customers and people, they're not going to refer me, and I'm going to lose social capital.
You're a landscaper?
And so...
Never said anything about screwing I never said anything about screwing anybody over.
No. I didn't say anything. Okay,
but I didn't say anything about it.
But what I'm saying is, I have a customer ask me about something that they have an interest in, but I don't think they need. They're willing to give me the money. I tell them they shouldn't give me the money because I don't think they need it. So I'm turning down money, and it wouldn't, it might benefit them a little bit to get this thing, but I don't think it's a need. So I'm being honest and transparent with them.
Why would you install a French drain if you're not a landscaper?
This is inside. This is fixing the inside of buildings. So you can put French drains inside buildings to deal with groundwater mitigation issues. Anyways,
gotcha.
I don't really want to get into the nitty gritty.
Okay, that's fine. I understand now. I apologize.
But yeah, so I work inside buildings, not outside.
I got you. I understand.
The point is, there's social capital, and non-capitalist societies tend to value social capital more highly than capitalist societies. And I've seen this having worked for the Chinese. It is a very real thing. It's very much about your relationships with people, not just how much money you can make them. They will turn down the partnership that will make them more money.
Scarlett, you're breaking up.
But is your private business in business to break even every year, or are you in business to make a profit?
So Evan, I'm sorry. I think Scarlett had some background noise. Oh, go ahead.
Charge people.
Yeah. So Evan, I don't, and I say this often. I don't want to screw anybody over. I don't want to have to get ahead. I don't want to have to, do anything to be better than my coworker if they're doing the same exact work at the same exact level. However, we know in big companies you have to work and you have to earn at a bell curve. So that means that there's 3 different levels. Either you're doing wonderful, and if you're doing wonderful, then they give you a good raise. If you're doing mediocre, then they put you in the middle and you get a baseline raise. But if you put 2 people in those categories, you have to put somebody that could be doing a good job in the 0. You're doing a shit job, and we're going to put you probably on a PIP. So that's the reason. Nobody wants to screw anybody over. However, we do live in a capitalistic system. And again, I say this all the time. As long as I have to survive under that, I am going to try to get ahead. So what you're doing is not wrong. What you put in your Roth, congrats. But you're not doing anything wrong. But what we're saying is there could be a better system, or at least that's what I believe.
I can't imagine a better system where I'm allowed to take the money that I've made and purchase shares in companies that want to give me an 80% return on investment over the last 10 years. I can't think of a better system than that. I don't see how
a better system would be that you don't have to think about that. I think a better system would be where all your needs are provided for, and I know that's utopian, but I don't think of a better system where you could live your life and do what you want because it's your soul's purpose. I think that's the best system.
But who's going to provide all of these things for me?
Universal basic income.
Well, basic.
And where's that? And where's that money coming from?
I don't know. I'm not personally for that, but is that where you're going for, CS?
Universal basic income. I love that.
So the way China
have you never heard of that, Evan?
So
I'm sorry.
Can you?
Have you never heard of it? And I think Mojo's better equipped than I am to have this conversation because I'm not a Marxist.
I'm not.
I don't know. I have to identify. So hold on one second, Evan. I have to identify as a capitalist under the system that we currently have because that's the only way that I can feed myself. So that's where I have to operate. That's where I have to live. But this is not my theory. I don't have a better plan. If I did, I'd probably do my best to be speaking about it every single day. It's not what I talk about. What I talk about is what I have to do to survive today.
Yes, I was just going to ask you what your plan is.
Everybody is a capitalist when it comes to selling their house. Anybody who says that they're a socialist or a democratic socialist or whatever, when it comes to selling their house, they're going to put it on the market for the highest price that they can get. If it's a $400,000 house because the market will support a price like that, they're going to sell it for $400,000. They're not going to put it out there for $300,000 and walk away with $100,000 less cash.
Well, unless you want to sell it really fast, right?
But if you want to sell it fast, you have to go for whatever the market is willing to give you at that moment in time.
You understand in a socialist society, you can't buy and sell needs. You can buy and sell wants, but you can't buy and sell needs. Housing would fall into that category of you wouldn't be able to engage in capitalism under housing because it would be considered a public good, not a private.
Wouldn't that be owned by the government anyway?
China does that. You can lease it, you won't own it. So, and there's lots of countries that do this, and Egypt, China, what have you. They lease it. The government technically owns everything.
Yeah, the majority of most people don't know that the majority of businesses in China are private businesses, though. It's not the communist utopia that they make.
Ling Ling.
Well, okay. Does the Chinese government own a controlling share of UID, Huawei, or any of the international champion companies?
This is her category. This is her topic.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I just mentioned.
No, go ahead, Scarlett.
The majority of companies in China are privately held, is what he said.
The national champions.
I was very curious because the economy does fairly well over there. That there's no way that it would do that under government ownership of the means of production.
They have controlling shares of all the major national champion industries there. So yeah, it's privately owned, but the government has a controlling share. in every single one.
They at least have a golden veto or golden share, I guess.
Yep.
Veto power.
And you also can't get government contracts unless you're in with the government also. So you can't become one of those national champions if you're in disfavor with the government. It just won't happen because no one will do business with you. You're tainted.
Yeah, I mean, they might in some of the larger companies there, the government might own a controlling interest. I don't know, but I mean, this is the whole thing that gets me about why how do you guys think that it's okay for the government to come and take over your business?
Can the government? Wait. Can the government come and take over your business? Can the government come and take over your house?
Through eminent domain, they can. Yeah.
Yeah, not only that, what happens if you don't pay your taxes?
Well, you have a lien against your property, and if you have you sell your property, you have to pay the taxes. And I suppose eventually you can actually be dispossessed of your house.
All right, so let's go back to eminent domain then, because I think that's probably a better example.
No, he was right. I mean, they will take your house if you don't pay taxes for long enough. They will absolutely take your house.
Yeah. I mean, so
you don't actually own your house either, right? In the U.S.
You lease it. I mean, you have to make a payment every single year, every single month, every single quarter, however the fuck you set it up. You still have to make a payment to own that house.
Yeah, Florida is trying to do away with property taxes. I think at the very least for people who actually own their house, who have paid off their mortgage. I should
there are a couple of states with no property taxes, right?
I don't know any. There's a couple of states with no income tax, and Florida is one of them. But I don't know of any state without property taxes because those typically go to fund police, fire, ambulance, and schools.
Right. Yeah, maybe you're right about that. But
there are no states in the U.S. with zero property tax.
Right, but somewhere it doesn't have some kind of tax.
It's income tax, yeah. No, it's income tax.
Thank you.
Florida they have a sales tax.
And specifically, Rosa, just to make sure we're very clear, it's state, not federal, so they still are, you still have to pay federal taxes, but it's just state tax you don't have to pay.
Alaska doesn't have sales tax either, at least not on the state level.
Okay, irrelevant to the conversation. Where did you try and hand this off to me, CS? You said something that said Mojo would be better to talk about this. I don't remember what it was.
So I was saying specifically that, like, under capitalistic society, I don't blame him for the money that he's earned, or if I have to get ahead of my coworker XYZ. And I think it was brought up, like, well, then how do you fix it? What's a better system? And I said that your needs are met because then you wouldn't have to worry about that. You wouldn't have to worry about stepping over people. And the question is how? And I said that this is not my area. I only know that I have to live under it, but this is not my expertise.
Okay, I think we could probably agree on what basic needs are, Evan. I think that we can agree that housing, food, security, education of some form, anyway, healthcare, these are all basic human needs. These are all things that you need to survive. So these are all things that can be provided for by government. We can solve homelessness and food insecurity in this country for like less than $20 billion a year, which is such a small amount of money.
I live in downtown Los Angeles. Okay. You want to talk about a homelessness problem? Yeah, I unfortunately drive through Skid Row almost every day. The city of Los Angeles has recently spent $450 million.
Okay, I don't care what LA has done. I don't care what California has done. I am telling you, stop. Yes, I am telling you that there are plans out there right now to get rid of homelessness in this country for less than $10 billion a year. Those do exist. We can
in 2026. Why hasn't this happened?
Hold on 1 second.
Because we have not instituted it at a federal level. That's why.
We've instituted it. We instituted it in Los Angeles County and spent $450 million to permanently, quote unquote, house 1,100 people. That's $409,000 per person. Okay, they give free houses to these people. I make $165, and I can't afford a house in downtown, in anywhere in Los Angeles County.
Can we do it differently? Could we do it differently?
Yeah, can I comment as someone who works with this population on a daily basis?
Could we set up a system that's different than the one you're talking about?
I mean, you could always try things that are different, but I think it's absurd.
Is there a different system that might actually work? Is there a different system that might actually work?
Well, yeah. I mean, you should.
Okay,
we should
then
get
good. Then just leave it there.
I'd like to see the mentally ill people get put into institutions and get the treatment that they need. Okay, and I'd like to see the people who are addicted to substances get the treatment that they need. But people are going to choose to go back to that life. And if people choose to go back to that life, why should they be given money and a free house? They're contributing
do you
nothing.
think that every single person that is unhoused is an addict?
Did you hear me say that?
No, he said mental health issues also.
And I think
the majority
You said every single one of them want to go back to that life. If you give them
the majority of them.
Evan, this is a full panel. Evan, this is a full panel. And B wanted to also talk too because I think she has specific experience in this industry. So
sure.
I just want to make sure you guys can have the conversation as well.
Yeah, as someone who deals with this population on a daily basis, every single day, I worked in emergency medicine for the majority of my career, and I'm currently working in my mental health rotation. So I'm in a psych hospital, and I'm dealing with those who are mentally ill and unhoused on a daily basis. And I can say without a doubt, the issue is definitely housing, but even more so, it is a multifaceted issue that needs to be attacked on all fronts, right? We have people who've been through trauma. We have a community or we have a lack of community systems that don't really exist here in the United States. We have a different culture. We have a different society. There's so much that goes into more than just giving people homes. People need a community to come back to. People need a reason to not want to be on the streets anymore. That's going to take a lot more money than just handing out someone a $4,000 tiny home. So if you think that this is
$400,000,
that's not happening. I'm sorry that you got that misinformation. I also live in California.
That came from the city of Los Angeles.
They're not giving people $400,000 homes. And a $400,000 home in California would be something like a 2-bedroom apartment, if that.
I didn't say they were giving them a $400,000 home. I said they spent $400,000 plus to permanently house each one of the people they helped in that program.
Yes, because it costs more than just homes, right? Like, we need to ensure these people get proper health care. We need to ensure these people have proper access to medication, to therapies, to in-house and, outpatient therapies. These things cost a lot of money. If you want to fix the homeless problem, it is going to cost more than just housing people.
Right, but they're not homeless in the sense that they lost their job and now they have nowhere to live.
Many of them start, actually, I would really implore you to actually look into this issue. If we can prevent people from the original homeless episode, we can prevent them from falling down what we call the permanent homeless pipeline. So once you have the first episode of sleeping in your car, the chances that you will be what we call chronically homeless go up by 50%. So if we can prevent people from losing their jobs and then having to sleep in their car the first time, we can prevent them from becoming chronically homeless.
I don't believe that.
It doesn't matter what you believe.
I don't believe that for 1 second.
That's okay that you don't believe it.
1 second.
Don't believe me. I'm just a random broad on the internet. What you can Google.
You're doing a clinical
the best thing
rotation.
The best thing you can do is Google chronic homelessness or homeless pipeline, and you can see where the research is in this. Right. It's very strong research.
Okay, and do the majority of these people who you say are chronically homeless, are the majority of those people, do they have substance abuse and or mental health issues?
Well, that's even what is even sadder is oftentimes what I see in my rotation, what I see in the mental hospitals that I'm in, people start doing rugs like I'm not going to say it out loud, but rugs that stimulate your CNS so that you could stay awake at night so you won't get robbed or raped inside a homeless campment. So their substance abuse problems start because of the homelessness. They did not exist prior to the homelessness.
Nonsense.
You can say it's nonsense, but there's a lot of research.
That is such a bunch of nonsense.
One at a time.
That an otherwise normal, healthy person lost their job and they became an amphetamine addict to stay awake so they don't get attacked at night. Come on, stop. That's ridiculous.
Especially if you're a woman.
I live in downtown.
Do you know how scary it is to sleep in your car at night as a woman?
It's probably
the
very
chances
scary,
of you getting raped, especially in an encampment. Do you know how scary that is for people? Yes, they do just like we see truck drivers do rugs so that they can stay up that late at night and drive these very strenuous routes. People do rugs in order to stay up.
I know this.
Common.
Yeah, I know this. Yeah, I know this, but the idea that otherwise healthy people turn to that life is just not true.
Okay, so otherwise,
Then how do you think they get
Evan,
there?
otherwise,
All right, hold on. Messy.
I'd love to know how Evan thinks people get there.
Messy. CS, go ahead.
I'm so sorry, Messy. I got in like 1 second before you, so I so apologize. So otherwise healthy people, right, Evan? So, and I'm not trying to like change the subject here, but I'm trying to highlight something. So if God forbid something happened to you, and God forbid you went through a medical issue that you couldn't afford because it was out of your reach, and that happens, let's say there's, I think the bankruptcy rate between like medical issues is 60% of all bankruptcies come from that. And so where I'm going with that is, God forbid you can't pay your taxes and your house gets paid, and God forbid you don't have anyone to reach out to and you end up on the streets. Like, that's a reality.
I wouldn't end up on the street.
But how are immigrants
where
getting
would you go?
hospital bills paid and like we're going into debt?
Right.
For
Wait,
like, I don't get it.
Wait, now you're going off track here. Immigrants are a different story. No, but I mean immigrants with Rosa. The different story.
Yeah, but like in Tala and their bills paid, it goes back to the federal when they don't pay them.
No, but that's a different story than if you have cancer and your cancer treatments cost $100,000 and the only way to get cancer treatment is to accept that bill, even though you can't pay it, and it comes to your house. And then again, so now your credit's shit. Either you have to claim bankruptcy or whatever, but they're also, you cannot stop paying your taxes under bankruptcy. So now your house is getting taken, and so now you're homeless and on the streets. So that's
that is a minuscule and I could get hit by a car tomorrow. That's a reality also. You're talking about a very minuscule amount of people who are living on the street, especially in downtown LA. These are not people who were once productive citizens and had medical debt and ended up living on the street.
There, Evan. How do you think they got there?
Well, a lot of them get there because they do have mental health problems. You should see these people. They walk around talking to themselves.
I want to know how you think they got there. How did a normal person, or were they born this way? How did a normal person end up on Skid Row? How do you think that happened?
I was explaining that to you and you interrupted me. I think the majority of these people have developed mental health issues. If you saw them on a daily basis like I do, a lot of them haven't showered in forever. They're walking around talking to themselves. Sometimes they're very aggressive.
Do you ever talk to them? Do you ever, I know you see them and you watch them. Do you ever have conversations with them? Do you ever ask them? They'll be very honest with you. You can go up to them and ask them, how did you get here? They'll be honest.
Typically no. I don't, because I have other things to do.
He's upset he has to see them.
And I don't want to be.
All right, hold on. Let him finish his statement. Hold on. Hey, B. Let him finish his statement.
I don't want to be hit up for money, because that happens all the time as well. Oftentimes, a lot of these people are dangerous and very unpredictable in their behavior. So I don't typically go out of my way to have conversations with any of these people, because they're not all there.
How'd they get there, Evan?
Well, again, they oftentimes these are people who have developed mental health issues and probably didn't have any support from their family or whatever, and they end up living on the street because their brain is not functioning properly. And I'm not pathetic for pointing out the reality, but I would say instead of spending billions of dollars every year supporting the state of Israel and fighting stupid wars in the Middle East like Iraq, we could be helping. If you want to spend that money, if we're going to spend that money anyways, I'd rather see it spent over here trying to help people like that instead of bullshit like we did in Iraq. And I was there twice.
And oh my God, Evan, we have come full circle. Thank you. Because I think that is exactly what we're trying to say. And I think that's the most empathetic thing that you've said on the panel so far. Like, I think we are wasting a lot of money in foreign wars, right, and we're not taking care of our people at home. And it's been America first. But correct me if I'm wrong, you voted for Trump, who wanted America first, right?
Yes, I voted for Trump because I'm a Republican.
Okay. I just want to say, Evan, it has been really fun talking to you. I think it's good conversation, and it's good to see my friends again on the panel. I'm sorry I've been gone for a minute, but I will be back. I just am prioritizing sleep right now, so thank you for having me out, Mojo, and I'll see you guys
sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams. You.
Have a good night, CS. I won't talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, you too. Okay.
So, I mean, like, Kami, you seem kind of annoyed by me and my view of the world. Why are you so annoyed?
Can you hear yourself?
I can hear you, and I'd like to hear what you have to say.
I don't know. I need a couple conservatives. If you're a conservative and you want to join the panel, please hit the request and put a red heart in the chat. I don't know. I need a couple conservatives up here, though.
So Mamdani, right, in New York, listen to this one. He, Donald Trump put an executive order, right, in New York for all the, like, homeless people to get off the streets and to either go into the hospital or rehabilitation or, you know, a shelter, a bunch of things, right? And so they were trying to do that. The police, you know, were going around and trying to get them, you know, on their way to wherever they needed to go. And Mamdani, when he came in, he totally took that off and said, no more of that. You guys, if you want to be on the streets, you can be on the streets. So a bunch of people unalived during the snowstorm, which is wild because I can't believe no one was, like, there for them. But Mamdani wants to, like, I don't know what this is called, but he wants you to, when you want to sell your home in New York,
yes,
you have to show it to him, like the government first, and then if you get a buyer for it, you have to show it to the government one more time, and then you can sell it, or the government, if the government wants to buy it, you know, they could buy it.
You have to agree to offer it first to a nonprofit, is what I read. And they have up to 90 days to make you an offer. So instead of being able to sell your property there in New York within 30 days, if you can, because you can get to closing in 30 to 45 days if you have a buyer immediately. Right, no, they're requiring you to offer it first and to receive a bid from nonprofit organizations. Yes. Or I mean, come on, that guy's unreal.
But also, if he deems like landlord buildings, if he deems them like uninhabitable or like not well taken care of, he can like take the buildings, and then the government has the buildings.
Yeah, it's always been that way. You can always you can always condemn properties. That's always existed.
Really? No, but like he'll just take over the buildings, keep people living, not condemn them and kick everyone out. Like keep the building going, just make the profit for himself or the government.
Well, they can't do that unless they're actually paying fair market value for it.
I swear that's what he said he was doing.
Can't do that.
He says.
Are you aware of what a slumlord is? Are you aware of the term slumlord?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yes, especially being in New York, I could tell from your accent, you definitely know what a slumlord is. So that's the reason that he's doing this, is because he's trying to prevent slumlords from essentially doing what they're doing, which is taking over the city. Right. This is why we have this sort of regulation on the housing market.
What's the definition of a slumlord? I'd love to know what that.
Slumlord is somebody who does not keep up to regulation standards, whether it be state or federal regulations that are needed in order to ensure that a house is safe for occupation.
Yeah.
So they're not up to code, is what you're saying, pretty much.
Right. Well, they might not have a stove that's working or like a refrigerator that's working, and they just don't take care of it. The landlord. Or like leaks.
We have a slumlord for president, Donald Trump.
Really? What are where are Donald Trump's slum properties? I'd love to know. Where's that? Where are they at?
That's not the only definition for slumlord.
I love. I love the things that people say about Donald Trump. It's just hilarious.
Ling, I don't see a Twister person anywhere.
Twister request up.
Yeah, Mamdani as well.
Evan, you got to be realistic. How can you still support a piece of shit?
God, it's so weird listening to you now.
Because I voted for Donald Trump.
How is anybody supposed to answer a question like that?
Wait, hold on.
And you know what? We voted for Donald Trump and we got Bibi Netanyahu. So please, I'm going to go on mute and explain to me how you still support this fucking piece of shit. Please.
Well, so Jay Lash, every president of the United States since 1948 has bowed down to the Jewish lobby in America. Every single one of them. Okay. We don't support Israel because it's in our best interest. We don't support Israel because it makes the nation more secure. We support Israel because the Israel lobby in Washington, D.C. is the most powerful, influential, and well-funded lobby, right up there with the NRA. Okay, they have money, they own our politicians, and if you dare to criticize Israel, or you dare to criticize Zionism, or you say anything negative about the Jewish people as a people, you are blacklisted. You are labeled.
BlackRock,
and then they see,
Epstein, I'm aware.
Exactly. Exactly. So Donald Trump really, in my opinion, is not doing anything that any other Democrat or Republican politician has done since the creation of the state of Israel. How is it any different?
Okay, what happened to no new wars?
It's not a new war.
Well, I don't, sir.
It's
I don't
not
agree
a new
with you.
war, it's a
I don't.
conflict.
I don't agree.
Well, it's not new. They've been at it for a long time.
It's a
Typical
war.
Republican.
Or there was a good outcome for the American people, and right there and then he had my vote because I went there twice, and I can tell you something right now that was one of the biggest frauds ever perpetrated on the American people. We got nothing out of that war. We're not safer. We don't have a better standing in the world.
When did you learn that? Did you feel that way after 9/11?
I joined after 9/11. I joined in 2006.
So you were all patriotic and shit. And you thought so you were all patriotic and shit. And you thought you thought it was justifiable to go into Iraq at the time. It's only since then that you now think it's not justifiable. So do you think you might feel the same way about Iran? I don't know, 10 years from now when we're still fucking there?
No, dude. Hold on. I have been hands off Iran for a very long time. We overthrew their democracy in 1953 and installed the Shah. And then you had the revolution in 1979, and we've been dealing with a mullah government there, a government that is hostile to the United States.
Okay, so how do you still support Trump?
I was going to get there. This is we want access to Iran's oil. We don't care about their WMD program. It's about getting access to their oil. We don't have access to that, and that's what we truly want. I never in a million years thought that he was going to do this. I never thought the United States was going to go into a full-blown military conflict from the air or from the ground or a combination of both or sea or whatever. Never thought that this was going to happen. I'm very disappointed that he has chosen this course of action, but I believe he probably has a lot of people in his ear telling him to do certain things. All presidents have advisors. You know, George W. Bush was surrounded by them, and they were all pro-Israel Zionists. You had Pearl, Wolfowitz, Bremer, all these people who were in Bush's ear, telling him that Iraq had WMD, blah blah blah. And he made us. The buck stops here. It stops.
I'm still asking you why you support Donald Trump. Still,
I support because I'm not a one-issue voter, just like maybe you're not a one-issue voter. You know,
I'm a vote blue no matter who, so I don't really care.
Okay, well, you're okay. That's fine. And if the Democrats want to march in lockstep on every single issue, then that's fine. But I'm not a single issue voter.
So why do you still support Trump?
I support some of the things he's done. I support the enforcement of our immigration law and the deportation of illegal aliens. My parents were both.
The deportations, have we gotten any? What the fuck?
You're going to tell me that we haven't deported anybody?
2 million self-deportations. What are you talking about?
Wait, that number's fake.
No,
you know that number's fake, right?
That's not fake. If you're giving each person who's deporting themselves $1,000, you literally have counted.
We have not given that money out. That comes from a self-reported survey of about 80,000 people.
Right, but someone's keeping track of that, right? Of how much they're giving out.
No, it's not being released. No.
Ron DeSantis said the first thing you get.
Not public, but somebody's got to be keeping track of how much.
So you're just trusting. So you're trusting.
They are.
Wait, so you're trusting the government?
Out 2 million to 3 million people, or 1,000 to 3 million people.
Can we go back to Ron DeSantis, the guy that? Oh my God! If you say anything about Bibi Netanyahu in Florida, you go to prison. Fuck Ron DeSantis. He's a piece of shit.
You can't go to jail. You can't go to prison in Florida for criticizing Netanyahu. Where do you get that idea from?
Turn the news on, bud.
From the news article, Evan. From the news article, Evan.
Yeah,
from the news
article. I heard you the first time.
Why are you still fucking talking? From the news article and the special that came on about, 2 months ago, where police showed up at a woman's house because she had put something about pro-Palestine on her fucking Facebook page.
You said something that was pro-Palestine. What exactly did she say that had the police at her door?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. It does matter.
You guys are the first to cry about it.
But threats.
First to cry about it.
Hold on. Incitement of violence or direct threats are not protected under the First Amendment. You know that.
She didn't do that.
If it was
you don't know what you tell me what she said.
If it was pro-Palestine, how could it be a threat or an incitement of violence?
It depends on how it was worded. So I don't know. She doesn't know how it was worded. I asked her how it was worded. You know, but the idea that the police can arrest you for saying something in support of the Palestinian people in this conflict is just not true. That's a silly thing to say.
Well, if you want to talk about DeSantis, I think we could just talk about the $20 million that he stole from the Florida government and gave to his fucking wife's charity. This was a healthcare settlement through Medicare that he just fucking flat out took and gave to his wife's organization.
And he violated the law by doing that?
Yeah, it's under investigation. Right? I think there's already been a grand jury impaneled for it, too.
Okay. Well, I mean, whether it's a violation of Florida law or federal law, I hope it gets investigated and we find out the truth of what happens. And if there's accountability, I hope it gets held accountable.
There's a lawsuit being done right now by the ADA. She put a Facebook post about the Miami mayor saying that he was calling for the genocide in Palestine. And the police showed up at her house because they said, quote unquote, it could incite violence.
Okay, and you said that they showed up at her house.
Yeah.
What did they do? Did they arrest her? Did they take her into custody and arrest her?
Wait, is it okay to be harassed about a Facebook post? Really?
It's okay for the police to come to your house and have a consensual conversation with you about anything.
That's crazy.
Over saying Palestine, dude, go fuck yourself.
It's a consensual conversation. You can tell them to leave. Unless you're being detained, you don't have to talk to the police. And even if you are being detained, you don't have to talk to the police.
Right. So if they just show up, the police in this country, on every doorstep of every Democrat in the country, do you think that's okay?
It's not illegal.
Wow.
Do you think it's okay?
Tell me how fascist you really are, Evan.
Wait, I just want to know. I want to know what fascism is. Hold on. I want to know if you think it's okay.
I think it would. I think it would be very odd. It would be very strange, and it could be possibly considered, politically motivated, intentional, organized harassment against an identifiable group. So I don't think it would be right.
So how many people's doorsteps can they show up on before you believe that?
I'm not saying that I don't believe that the cops went there. If the cops went to talk to her, then if it's documented that they went. Okay, the question is, did the police show up at her door for something she put on Facebook? Right?
No, that's not my question. My question to you is how many doors can they show up at before you think it's not okay for them to do that?
It depends on each individual case or why they're going there in the first place.
So 1 million people?
I don't
because
know.
They all posted the same. Because they all.
Do you want me to give you some arbitrary number?
Yes, because I want to know when you think fascism starts.
And what level of fascism you're okay with, Evan?
So there is no fascism in the United States, guys.
These optics don't work. This guy's a libertarian, or a minarchist or something. We're calling him a fascist now,
I didn't call him a fascist.
I know, but I just don't understand unless you just are bored, you're trying to call a libertarian a fascist. You could just ask him about bestiality laws if you're trying to.
Okay, you can just stop. You can just stop. I'll tell you what. This is my panel. I run my panel. I do it every day, or I have done it every day for about the last year and a half. I don't know, 8 to 15 hours a day. And I'll go ahead and run it the way I want. I will ask the questions I want. I will have the conversations I want. If you don't like them, Hale, you don't have to be here.
He's not here anymore. Anyway, Evan, how much fascism are you okay with?
Who booted him?
I did. Don't do
that.
How much communism are you okay with? It's such a stupid question.
I'm okay with communism. I'm a Marxist. I'm absolutely okay with Marxism.
No, but this woman saying how much fascism am I okay with?
And you can't answer.
You know, like that's such a stupid question. That's like saying, well, when did you stop cheating?
Term? Do you think that fascism is an elastic term? Because when did you stop
cheating on your wife, Kami? On your husband, Kami? When did you stop cheating on your husband?
Evan.
That's not even in the same realm. What are you talking about? That's not even in the same realm of questioning.
That's the kind of question she
You're
asked.
trying to make it's not actually. It's not.
Because
She asked you about a governmental system, and you're talking about her personal life. These are nothing to do with each other. This is not a one-to-one
comparison. It was a rhetorical question, dear.
Yeah, it was a rhetorical question.
Okay?
And I'm telling you, you made a bad one. You're trying to make a point, and your point is weird because
it's a question that implies. The premise of the question is that I'm okay with fascism. So,
why would you ask me that, Evan?
You are. You just sat here.
I wasn't seriously asking you the question, Kami.
Well, you sat here for 10 minutes. And
what did I justify? Justify
people
what?
getting arrested for their beliefs.
That's not what happened
Hold on. When did I say anybody should be arrested for their beliefs? This is why it's so difficult to have any kind of real conversation with people on the left. Because you don't live in the real world.
People could show up
in the real
guys,
world.
one at a time. This is
I voted
crazy
for
now.
Trump,
Stop it.
idiot.
Stupid.
We can't hear shit, dude. Just one at a time.
You don't live in the real world, which is why it's so difficult to have a conversation with people on the left.
A cop can show up to a house for any fucking reason to say, "Hey,
no, they have to have probable cause.
I got free
they can't
flowers."
just
No, they don't.
and
They have
decide
to have,
they want to arrest
you
are insane if you think that. You are literally insane if you
so
think
they can just so again, you suck the boot of the fascist nation. That's
I
what
don't
you're
like
sucking
cops.
off right
I don't
now.
like
And you're working in mental health. You're
I'm just
working in
saying
mental
that
health.
you're
Crash.
That's what you're doing.
Can we,
You guys,
don't
this
like
is
cops.
ridiculous.
Okay,
You're
ma'am.
reporting
If somebody calls
misinformation.
the police and says that children are in such and such house and they're being mistreated, the police can go there for a welfare
ding,
check.
ding. You got it.
If
It's
somebody
probable
says
cause.
there's screaming coming from that house, there's abuse going on, they can go there for a welfare check on the wife
because that
and the
is
husband.
probable cause. Did you not just hear what I said? I said
Are we
probable
children?
cause.
Can we just
Right,
stop?
but
Can we
why-
stop?
why
stop,
else would
stop.
they go
Everyone
there?
stop.
If they
Everyone
drive-
stop. Please, for the love of God, just let people finish.
We need to
the
have
double talking. It just hurts.
Yeah, we need to have a conversation. Let one person finish. Don't interrupt that person, please.
I don't even know where we got off.
We're trying to get Evan
such a silly thing to
tell us how much money he would take to become a full fascist.
Hold on, we need to
It
stick
sounds like
on
he
this.
just is concerned about being greedy and making his.
We need to stick on this, please.
Okay, I'm
Just spam
sorry.
muting,
I am spam muting because you're talking over people. How do you not
already
understand
silenced
that?
the whole panel.
How do you not understand that you're talking over people? Messi was trying to say something and both of you guys started talking. Just stop. I don't even know if Messi was trying to ask a question or not.
He won't answer my question. He just wants to know about my extramarital affairs.
It was a rhetorical question, and I think you know that. Because your question implies an affirmative response. You didn't ask me a fair question.
I think it's pretty fucking fair, Evan.
And B, you're saying that I'm justifying putting people in prison for their beliefs. I've never said any such thing.
I just listened to you argue about it and the optics of it for 10 minutes with Kami. I just listened to you for 10 minutes. You're not going to gaslight me in a conversation that I'm sitting in on right now.
You sound
literally
like my
sitting on.
He
in
literally
on this,
didn't.
And I can tell the way that you talk to people. Yeah.
Why? What is wrong with you fucking people? What the fuck? Why is everybody talking at the same fucking goddamn time?
Because the same person keeps making the same point of something he didn't say.
I didn't say he said
the same
it.
fucking shit. He never justified arresting people for their beliefs. No, he did not. I've been here too. He never.
What specifically did I say?
He never said that. You're literally making shit up.
Jesus fucking Christ. Fuck. You don't want to come up here, CS, do you? Really?
Well, I was going to 2 minutes ago before you dropped the panel because that was insane, and I just wanted to try to help. But yeah, no, I'm good. But have fun.
Yeah.
People have multiple phones. Crazy.
I don't understand why people can't have a fucking conversation like adults.
Yeah, we need to stop yelling over the top of each other. Allow somebody to finish their statement, please. For the love of fucking
My
God.
ADD kicks in sometimes, Mojo.
Also, let's not fucking gaslight people. I don't know. Just ask the I hate when fucking people do that shit to me. Like, don't build straw man. Ask them directly. Which is the question that I wanted to ask in a different way is, would you be okay if the police showed up at your house the way that you're kind of justifying it now if Biden was still president? Right? I think you're okay just depending on if your team is in charge of the government right now or not. But it's the same fucking police. Right? Like, they're the cops, they're the authorities, whether it's a Democrat or Republican in office.
Am I okay with them showing up?
Yeah, like over something. Let's just say over this conversation, for example. Let's say the authorities knew that you had some kind of view, and they just knocked on the door and been like, "Hey, yesterday at 11 o'clock Eastern, I heard you on a live. We had some questions for you. Like, are you okay with that?"
I mean,
I am. I am, but
yeah, but you're a monarchist, so
I would just tell him to fuck off, though. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's what I would tell him to do too.
All right, but that's why I asked you if it was okay to do it to every Democrat that's in the country, and you said no. And then I tried to find a middle ground where you think it's okay to do it to every person in a specific group. So let me ask you a more simple question, I guess. So in whatever town you live in, if they stopped people with brown skin and just ask them for the ID, and those people can say, "I'm not showing you my ID," and then they just let them go. Is it okay for them to do that?
No, because you can't make that the primary reason for stopping somebody.
No, but they're just asking to see an ID. They don't have to show them their ID. They're just asking.
I mean, there's lots of things that they can. There's lots of things that the police can do that are really not regulated. You know what I mean?
I understand, but do you think it's okay for them to do that? See, I think this is this is the line.
I don't think it's okay.
You had to think about that shit, bro.
Yeah, this is the line.
Well, who cares
this is the
if I
line.
think about it? He's asking me a fair question.
I do. You're a grown ass man. It's like, bro.
No, it's
this is not a complicated.
This is something
not a complicated.
Hell, this is something
that makes it even worse.
This is something to think about, because if they're not breaking the law, if the police aren't breaking the law, they are allowed to stop and ask for somebody's ID, but not require it. And they're able to.
Mojo.
Wait, stop.
My bad.
Stop.
You're at your end.
Just stop. Okay, so if they're allowed to do that, how many times can they do that before it becomes not okay? How many times can they do that before it becomes a brown shirt mafia?
I understand that.
I don't.
The thing I'm laughing at is that the reason. Hold on, can I speak finally? The reason he had to think about that isn't because of like what everyone else is thinking, which is the moral dilemma of if, hey, this is obviously wrong, or like, can this technically be justified in some situation? He's thinking about this libertarian fucking nonsense of, hey, I might morally disagree with this, but like, is the state justified in doing said thing? And it's like, dude, these people are literally the most immoral and disgusting political ideology on the face of the earth. And this is why I asked you when I first came up here, are you trying to play with this guy? Like, you trying to get some convo out of him for a couple hours? Because you just easily optically destroy these people in like 3 questions. He still didn't answer the question I asked earlier. He's a libertarian or a minarchist or something.
Hell, stop. We've gone through this like 4 times.
What ideology?
He is a libertarian or a minarchist or something like that. I do not know specifically.
But, sorry, your opinion is that libertarians are the worst ideology?
I cannot think of a more immoral people of any political ideology whatsoever.
I've never heard that from you. That's interesting.
I actually agree for sure. Yeah. All of them are.
Can Mojo? Can he answer my question I asked him 30 minutes ago when he stood out and then asked for me to get off the panel, and then I got kicked?
I thought you were asking me that question, but Either
I was
way,
asking
when you
him that
well,
question.
hold on. When you were asking that question, we were talking about economics. I'm not trying to like destroy him in one fucking question. I want to talk about his economics first.
That's
because
what I asked you.
Yes, and that's why I asked
you. Didn't answer
and
me.
that's
And
why I
then I
asked
said,
you.
Can I ask my question?
That's
You
why.
said, sure.
That's why. No, I didn't. No.
Okay, well, you paused, and then he said, go ahead. And you didn't say anything.
I understand. Hell, but if we're talking about economics, for you to ask if it's okay for somebody to fuck their dog, that kind of changes the whole fucking subject.
No, I understand. That's why I said, hey, are you trying to play with this guy? Are you trying to talk with him for a while? Or are you just trying to
I'd like to talk about economics too. I like to talk about economics too. I like to talk about economics too. I don't need to talk about morality. Morality is irrelevant in this discussion. We're talking about economics. We're talking about governmental systems. We're talking about foreign policy and economic policy. Morality to me is fucking irrelevant most of this shit.
I don't think you think that. Morality is irrelevant to you in foreign policy decisions?
I just said it. What do you mean you don't think I think that? I just said it.
So you only don't support Israel because of like fiscal reasonings?
I don't.
Are you a libertarian now?
There are certain things that I agree with libertarians on, yes.
Okay, so you just don't support Israel because of fiscal reasonings.
I don't know, but we're not talking about Israel. I'm just telling you that I'm not talking about morality here.
Mojo, that was disappointing.
Why?
Okay, if you don't want to talk about morality, then that's fine. I just wanted the guy to answer. And I can skedaddle. Can he please just answer for me? I mean, his lack of answer is already an answer. I just thought it was funny how
I'm not
when
gonna,
I asked
I'm not
it,
gonna,
I'm not going to
entertain such a vulgar question. Okay.
What you can't just answer if you think you should be legally allowed to.
You're a vulgar. You're just a vulgar.
You want to fuck dogs, dude. You want to fuck
stop.
dogs.
Hell, stop.
See, you can't take a guy like him seriously.
Stop.
You can't take this
just stop. Just stop. Fuck. No, he's asking the question for a specific reason because he wants you to be able to say, or he wants to get you to say that whatever people want to do, they can do because they're free to do it. That's what he wants to get you to say.
No, I want him to say bestiality should be legal.
Ew.
For what purpose?
I want him to admit his position on this because once you admit your position on this, your movement is optically over. It's a character assassination. No, it's about his ideology.
Okay,
No, it works. It works.
I'm fucking done with it. Jesus Christ.
Can I offer insight onto why he wanted to go that route?
I know why he wanted to go that route. He wanted to go that route because no, it's not a debate tactic. He just wanted to go straight to morality. And he wants to say that libertarians are immoral because they're going to say that people are free to do whatever the fuck they want as long as nobody can stop them from doing it. That's why by the way, Hale is a Nick Fuentes follower. He's a graper, and he's a monarchist.
Yeah, I mean, but we can understand that a broken clock is right twice a day, right? Like at the end of the day, I am a Marxist as well. As a Marxist, I do think morality is actually important, and I'm not the one who thought of this ideology. Che Guevara very much talks about it in his writings, and when he talks about creating a new man, what they call hombre nuevo, which is a man that is more moral than the previous. I do think morality is a very important aspect of conversation when talking about politics.
When it comes to morality, I only think that something is immoral when it negatively affects another person who had no say in what you did. So I think it's immoral to cheat on your wife, okay? Because you did something that negatively affected her, and she had no say in the whole thing.
You've been cheated on or something? Because that's like the second time you brought this up. Like, are you okay, bro? I'm checking in on you, human to human.
I think that there's certain obligations we have in life, and loyalty to your family is the first one in my opinion.
So you gaslight your daughter? That's cool.
Well, she accuses me of gaslighting when she accuses me of gaslighting when I point out that what she's saying about something I did or said or whatever like that isn't true. Okay, so that's what she accuses me of gaslighting. But that's what when you stand up to an entitled narcissistic female, that's what they always accuse you of doing, gaslighting.
Female.
So
It's awesome when you call women female.
Hey, God damn it! I might as well just bring Hale back up here. You just fucking followed up on the fucking line of thought that Hale gave out. You guys are so frustrating.
Wow, I hope you get invited to the wedding if she gets married.
Yeah, I won't go to the wedding.
I
fucking hate you.
Answer.
I hate you, Hale. I fucking hate you.
I just want my answer.
You've already sidetracked the whole fucking conversation.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Can you please say it a little bit?
Yes.
Nicer.
Yeah, Evan, do you believe that people should be able to do whatever they want with their private property, including bestiality?
I'm not entertaining
legally.
Your question. I don't take you seriously, and I'm not entertaining your question.
You have to hide your views. You have to hide your views because of how optically fucking unpopular and disgusting they are. This is why no youth
Evan,
is joining the libertarian
no.
movement. Yeah, that should be an easy no. Easy.
I never said that I was a libertarian.
When 20-year-olds are thinking about joining the libertarian or minarchist movement, and then they hear someone like you say shit like that, they think about putting you against a fucking wall, and they think H-Man is cool now. Okay, you actually radicalize people into a far right authoritarianism because of ideology like that. That's my point.
Wow.
So,
okay, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion.
So you can't answer the question. You refuse as a grown-ass man.
I'm not going to entertain your vulgar. I'm not going to entertain your vulgar question.
Dude, you're saying it's a vulgar question. I don't take you seriously. I formed it in a non-vulgar way. You're a vulgar. You're a vulgar person.
All right,
brother.
I'm not going to
entertain
brother.
Hell.
I'm not your brother, weirdo.
Hold on.
Okay.
Right, yeah, you're right. You're not a Christian.
God damn it! You hear me talking? Hell, can you formulate the question without something vulgar?
I did.
I know you can.
I reframed it on purpose. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Do you believe? I'll leave out the last part. I'll leave out the last part. Do you believe that you can do anything you want to your private property?
Your private property, yes.
Okay.
You said.
Do you realize what that entails?
Your private property, not in your private property.
What?
Really?
I mean,
really?
I don't think you should. No, I don't think you should. A blanket statement like that, I don't believe you should be able to do whatever you want with your private property.
I have to make it specific, Mojo. I have to get more specific.
No, because you started with the fucking disgusting
thing. Well, because he's going to say, no, I shouldn't be able to go in on a live people with my pew-pew because that violates the NAP or something like that.
No, if you own a row house, in Baltimore, Maryland, you shouldn't be allowed to set it on fire.
That's exactly my point, Mojo. See, so he can escape from it by answering that question. Okay?
Why shouldn't you be allowed to set it on fire?
Because it could harm others or something.
Yeah, but if it doesn't, but hold on.
You could set the whole block on fire. That's why.
But if you don't,
I believe that if you own your property,
if you put precautions in place so you don't catch any other building on fire. Why is it not okay to burn your own house, your own row house, your own whatever?
Because you can directly affect the property value of other people living in that neighborhood, living in that row.
The air condition violates the NAP by harming the air pollution.
What?
No,
this is how you guys operate. This is your entire ideological framework is operated off NAP and individual rights. So I'll make it a little more specific.
I really hate you. I fucking hate you.
Because I just fucking dog walk these people, okay? This shit is so easy.
Okay. You know something?
Do you believe
these young people? You know something, Mojo?
I'm 28.
These young people in our
I have a kid on the way.
These young people in our generation.
Hold on.
They are the most delusional people on the face of the planet. When they say, "I just dog walk you,"
you can't answer a question.
They're such delusional little kids, man. It's crazy.
Okay, Evan, tell me how he didn't just
Helen,
Wait, stop, Evan. Tell me how he didn't just beat you with one question. Tell me how that didn't
happen. Beat me. He didn't beat me with one question.
He totally did.
It's very simple. How did he defeat what did I say that he proved to be wrong?
No answer is an answer, bro. Which is fucking creepy.
It's not, dear. No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Don't say dear.
First
of all,
stop.
No, it's not, because when the police
stop. You do not call women dear on my fucking panel. She has a name. Call her B. Whatever the fuck you're gonna do, don't call her dear, sweetie, honey, darling, whatever. No fucking pet names. Don't do that shit.
Yeah, you fucking misogynist.
Yeah, that was the second time, and he called me sweetie earlier.
Hanlon, don't be such a snowflake, dude. Okay, don't be a little girly man, Hanlon. Okay.
Not understanding sarcasm is a show of IQ, by the way. But
okay, good for you.
So,
good for you,
Evan. Real quick, you might want to blame the youth or whatever, but I've heard 50-year-old men say dog walk and fucking cook all the time. So it's not just a youth thing.
It means nothing though. It's just that anybody can say, "Well, I just dog walked you."
No,
I just
but I
dog
did.
walked
But
you.
if I did, it matters.
No, actually, you didn't.
I wasn't in the middle of something.
Okay.
Then explain how I didn't. Explain why you think it is.
You're from the timeout generation, dude. Just take a timeout, okay?
Civics. Hale, I need you to slow down, Hale. Civics, what were you... Okay, you want to finish this?
I was just saying that it doesn't matter about dog walking or whatever. Usually when people have to claim victory, they didn't win anything.
If you think I didn't win that...
Hale, you are pissing me off.
I'm saying in general, when people do have to say that I dog walked you or I cooked you, it usually is a sign that they are in defense, right? Like usually. I'm not saying that you were wrong in the situation.
Insecure.
I do think that you caught him. Hold on. I do think that you caught him in that if you didn't specify your question, he was going to get away with it by giving the example of the row houses. Like that is exactly it, right? Like you do have to get specific.
Yeah, I agree. Hale proved that, and that's why I said I fucking hate him for fucking stupid ass question. God damn it. I was wrong.
You can't debate this guy on econ anymore because no one gives a shit if he's right on anything else ever because of his position on what he should be legally allowed to do with dogs.
I'm glad you think you tell everybody what they can think and what they can do.
No, Mojo knows it's true. Mojo knows it's true. No one cares to entertain anything you have to say now.
Mojo is perfectly capable of having a two-way conversation where he listens to me and I listen to him.
Yeah, I know he is.
So I don't think Mojo's not he's not a snowflake. He's not going to run. He's very
I don't think Mojo's going to run. I'm saying the audience has now made up their opinion on you, no matter what else.
How
you say.
How do you know what the audience thinks?
Because I can read people's minds. I'm a schizophrenic.
This is I believe you're schizophrenic. That I don't have a problem with believing. But the idea that you can tell everybody else what they're thinking, that's
wait, can you answer the question? Stop.
Yeah, can you tell me how you optically?
Stop. God damn it! You guys are pissing me off. Evan, wait, hold on. You know he's not wrong. You know that everybody that listened to you hesitate on answering that question knows that you believe that the question is true, that you do believe it's okay for somebody to do whatever they want with their own property. Everybody that was listening to this knows that now. So now every answer you give is tainted by the lack of answer on that one. You know that.
I don't think you should. Because I hesitated on whether or not you should be able to burn down your own row home.
You don't need to answer. You don't need to hesitate. You could just hurry up and answer it. You're a grown ass man. If there's some confusion, if you were misrepresented, you could just answer it right now.
Yeah, Helen.
You could clarify.
How I answer the question
by not answering
is okay. Well, that's your interpretation of it. Okay, but how I answer the question is just the way I did.
Okay, can I get more specific, Mojo? How far do I got to take this?
As long as you don't get me banned. I think the
audience already gets it, but okay.
As long as you don't get me banned, I'm fine.
Okay, so I'm guessing the B word is like anti-TOS or something.
I don't know what the B word is.
You guys
BEST.
Oh, yeah, probably.
What is your obsession with that? What is wrong with you?
Okay, let me rephrase it in an even more drastic way that does fit TOS. If there's someone in the audience that still hasn't gotten this, okay? Should an adult be allowed to purchase a CP doll online and use it recreationally within his own home?
A what? A what?
Oh my God, answer it, please.
A CP P3DO doll. A child doll that is used for sexual recreation.
I don't care what you do with your appliances.
Thank you. Thank you very much for at least having the balls to answer what Evan couldn't say.
That's your problem.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Nobody cares.
Everyone fucking cares.
I care.
Literally everyone in the entire world fucking cares about what you just said.
You know what? You may think Whirlpool is your best girlfriend ever, but, we don't give a shit.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Well,
he's talking about a dryer.
The washing machines?
The spin cycle, yes.
I guess maybe I walked the dog.
I don't get the joke, Mojo. Maybe I'm too young. I don't know.
It's an old person joke.
Okay. Well, all libertarians are old as fuck, so that makes sense.
Is it an LNG or maybe a Sanyo? I don't know. What's the modern term? Maytag.
I don't know what any of that.
Maytag? I don't care what you do with your Maytag.
Okay, but a refrigerator isn't a dog or
that's
a
off
CP
limits.
dog,
No,
right?
you cannot violate your refrigerator. Okay, that's
I think you can violate your refrigerator. I don't think you can.
Okay, I don't know that we need to continue this conversation.
Yeah, I think
it's
okay. Over.
Just think about how much a washing machine or a dryer vibrates during a spin cycle.
Oh, he's calling me like a woman? Like I'm like a woman that wants to sit on the spin cycle or something?
That's what he was talking about, yes.
Okay. Damn. Yeah. Man, I wish my grandpa were still here, man. I miss him. I really do.
You can put it in so much nicer
That reminds me of him.
Do it then. Do it, Robot.
Yeah, and then
why would you need to be in nicer terms, for one, and for two, I did. I put it in I couldn't think of a way that people would even understand what I'm getting at.
I understood what you were getting at, and I agree with that. But I mean, just for the app, it is pretty vulgar.
No, I understand. Originally, like 30 minutes ago, I came up pretty hot, but I always try and be
TOS.
It's impossible. That's how disgusting their opinion is that you can't even almost get their opinion on this because it's so disgusting to ask the fucking question of if someone's okay with it, because
as I said,
obviously no one should be okay with this.
You just called yourself a Christian like 10 years ago.
I don't think that we should be nice to these people. These people are.
I understand.
You said you were a Christian.
Better question.
I am a Christian.
Did you say you were a Christian?
I'm a devout Christian.
You're a devout Christian who uses the F word and talks about having sex with dogs.
Can you tell me
you just said your daughter was a narcissistic female.
So it actually mentions this in the Bible because it says it's immoral as fuck.
Listen to the. Do you think
it uses the B word in the Bible to say that it's extremely immoral.
I know. Did Jesus use the F word? Do you think Jesus would talk like you?
He did curse, and he.
Do you think Jesus would talk like you? Did you?
He overturned
I do not think that I. No, I do not think I 100% walked.
What are you talking about? He was a crash out. Jesus was a crash out. He overturned the tables in the temples.
You brood of vipers, you synagogue of Satan, you snake tongue.
Oh my God!
There is righteous anger.
Hell.
Yeah, this is why I don't believe in fairy tales.
Hell, you have to let other people talk.
Yeah, so don't come at me with the Christian shit
again. Can I get back to it? So, Evan,
Christian shit.
There is a prominent libertarian thinker that has written.
I'm gonna stop.
There's a prominent libertarian thinker that has written a lot about the libertarian ideology, and one of the main key points is the ability to own and do what you want with your property. In this particular regard, children that are born to you are technically your property. You had the hand in making them. You raise them. All the point, like they follow your rules, like they have to. They're by the government and by law, they are essentially your property. So in this same regard, if they are your property, you can have an open market for children. Do you agree with that or not?
No, because people are not property.
There you go.
People have rights. Okay, animals and other creatures of the earth are you can't abuse animals. You can't starve your dog. You can't set your cat on fire. Okay, there's laws against that kind of thing. That's cruel and inhumane type of stuff, and we as a society we don't tolerate that kind of thing.
There you go.
There's an urban myth. There's an urban myth in the U.S. Army that if you get a sunburn, you can be charged with an Article 15 for damage to government property. Okay, that's not true. I never was government property. Property doesn't have rights. Your car doesn't have rights. I'm a human being and I have rights.
Do dogs have rights?
Yeah.
What kind of rights do they got?
Only took you a half hour to say it.
No. He's skating around. He's skating around it because he's talking about what other people can do to said dogs, not what he can do to said dog. To his own private property.
Dude, you know something, dude? Just go.
You're so mad. You're so mad because I keep catching you.
Loser.
See, you'd be able to trick these people.
Shut up.
You'd be able
idiot.
to trick most of these people.
You
with
sound
your,
like
with
you
swap
sound like such a douche.
All right.
Am I wrong?
Evan,
were you referring to what
Evan,
you could do?
Not the douche.
Stop.
You have a child on the way? What a joke. My God.
I do. He's never going to want to
Bro,
Evan,
you have a child.
do
He
what
doesn't
you
like
want to
you.
do.
Stop. Evan, there are like basically two rules on my panel right now. First of all, don't tell people to shut up. Second of all, don't use pet names, especially with women. But generally speaking, it's frowned upon to use pet names with anybody. Those are the two rules I have. The other rule that I have is, well, not necessarily a rule, but I ask people to go one at a time. Let people finish their statement before you pipe up and say something. That's not necessarily a hard, fast rule, but the other two rules are pretty hard and fast. So you didn't know that before. I'm going to ask you not to say shut up, but I'm going to ask you not to say pet names from here on out. Thank you.
I think it's especially bad to say pet names because I think he has a kink for pets. So there also might be some kind of essay.
Anybody take this guy seriously? I don't think anybody takes you seriously, dude. I really don't.
Wait, that was funny as shit. Right, that was funny as shit. What the fuck? I fucking hate you, Hale.
If you use
hate
the
that you
terms
love
like
someone.
buddy, friend, or guy, he'll instantly drop you because he thinks you're Canadian.
I named my dog Buddy when I was a kid. I feel like I'm being aggressed upon.
Hale's a Canadian.
I think you're violating the
Hale's a
NAP.
Canadian. Drop his ass.
Is he Canadian?
No, he's not.
Sounds like one.
He's not a Canadian. He's not a Canadian. Evan, wait, seriously, do you call yourself a libertarian?
No, never have.
Have you so what do you call yourself?
I mean, I call myself a free-thinking person, but I support most of the ideals of the Republican Party. I don't support anything that the Democrats stand for.
The Republican Party, even though the Republican Party, even though it does have lots of libertarian influence over the past 50 years, would never advocate for private property rights to the extent that you just did. So
that's fine.
You're trying to hide your views more than a literal Yahtzee right now.
I'm not. You don't even know what a Yahtzee. You don't even know what a Yahtzee was, dude.
I do. I was one. I do. I literally was.
Oh, really? Really? You were a member of the National Socialist German Workers' Party?
No, I was a member of NSWP, and I was also a member of a gang when I was younger.
You were a gang member.
That were not good Yahtzees. So.
You know we have Yahtzees in the U.S., right, Evan? Like, they're not just German.
And not
the new NSWP,
well,
by
civics,
the way, but when
Evan
it was
also
still
had
called
a really hard time answering
Workers'
about how
Party,
much fascism he'd accept.
You don't even know what fascism is.
He may be a Yahtzee himself.
Okay.
I do. I'm very familiar with fascism.
No,
Hale.
I think Hale might actually be correct. He's pretty close to minarchist. Like, how do you feel about the Fed, Evan?
The Federal Reserve?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's a very broad question. I mean, I can see how it has benefited the economy to have the private central bank and to have a currency issued through that. To have a currency or a medium of exchange that's backed by gold or silver or another type of commodity might be very, very difficult to regulate.
Do you think we should end the Fed?
I'm open to hear more. I'm open to hear more argument on the pros and cons of it. So
yeah, it's anarchist.
Do you disagree with the concept of a central bank?
Please never doubt my reading ability, guys.
You
can hate me for tons of reasons. Please never doubt my reading ability.
There's a video on YouTube called "All Wars Are Banker Wars," and it breaks down how all the it claims that all the wars that we've had have been by and because of the private central banks that control the currency in a country. So I mean, there's broad. It's very our money is only money because you and I agree that it's money. It's not really backed by.
Sounds like we should get rid of those private banks, man.
Do you think
that's the conclusion to what you just said? But
do you think that the unaliving of Franz Ferdinand and that with a mixture of empires having to go at one another and denying the Germans to have colonies, you think that wasn't the cause of the First World War versus central banks?
The video that I watched makes the argument that it was.
I don't give a fuck about your video. Why don't you address what I just said?
I'm trying. I'm trying to. The video that I saw makes that argument that it was because of the private central banks.
Okay, so what would fuel the private central banks in a world of empire and imperialism?
What fuels the private central bank? Well, the private central banking system is the Federal Reserve, and they issue the currency, and they lend money to banks at a rate of interest, and then the banks lend it to us, and all that. So banks in general have a lot of money, so they can influence politicians, and they can have a big influence on regulation and maybe even foreign policies and things like that.
Okay.
So it's open. It's open for. I guess it's very, very susceptible to corruption.
No, the point is that if a country wants to gain more colonies because their cousins and their neighbors already have colonies and they feel like they've been left out ever since the unification of the German princes and making the German state, and they wanted a piece of the pie as well. And when they weren't allowed to do that, it boiled over into a world war. Right? That is essentially what happened. If you want to blame that on their central bank wanted to grow because they wanted more influence and more money, that's a dumb fucking argument. The argument is that empires clashed, and that's why we had a world war.
Well, it's a very good video, and I encourage you to watch it. All Wars Are Banker Wars is what it's called.
At what point in the video do they blame the Rothschilds and a certain
type of
people? Yeah, of course it is. I know it is. I know it is. It's always their fault. It's always their fault.
Well, it claims that Rothschild said, "Allow me to issue a nation's currency, and I care not who makes the laws." It talks about how Germany was up to its eyeballs in debt from the First World War, even though that war didn't start. Germany didn't start that war. It started between Austria-Hungary and Serbia, and by the end of the war, Germany got blamed for all of it. Was left with all the war debt, and the economy and everything was wrecked after World War I, and Hitler, Mr. H, came along and issued a centralized state currency that was not through a private central bank, and the economy of Germany was revived that way. And the powers that outside of Germany didn't really like that because it didn't give control of the currency to a private central banking system.
I think that's why they didn't like that.
Didn't like what?
You think?
Well, you explain. In 1936, David Lloyd George, who had been the Prime Minister of England, went and visited Mr. H in 1936, and he told him that he had done amazing things for Germany. He had given Germany back its national honor, and that the economy was wonderful, and all the things he was doing was wonderful. But yet, by 1939, he was the most evil man in the world. I mean, there's more to the story. It's just not so cut and dry. People love a simple explanation for history, but it's a very complicated thing.
Well, that's because H got worse and worse and worse, right? The way he originally started off didn't sound too bad, not even to the German people, but as he progressed through his sit-in as ruling the country, he got worse and worse and worse. So yeah, people can change their minds. Not out there.
People can change their minds, but the propaganda. Do I believe the Reichstag the fire?
Yes.
I've heard of it. I have to say I don't know a ton about it.
It's plausible.
I think it's very interesting.
Before he took power, he was in the Reichstag, which is basically like a congressional system where you have representation from the people. He's specifically, it depends on which side of the fence you are on, I guess, but somebody started a fire. He blamed it on the Social Democrats and the communists that were in power in the time in order for his party, the Aussies, to gain more seats and power. And eventually, once he gained the Supreme Chancellor, he disbanded the Reichstag for good, which it's in their constitution.
He was appointed.
Chancellor can disband the Reichstag.
Yeah, he was appointed Chancellor by Paul von Hindenburg. And the whole thing about that part of history is that there's a lot of propaganda. There's a lot of silly buzzwords when they say that they seized power in Germany. They didn't seize power in Germany. They were elected and he was appointed.
All right, I'm gonna leave here. I started agreeing with them. I think I did my job. I gotta go watch a UFC fight. God bless you, Mojo.
So
Good,
they
go
did
away,
not
asshole.
win.
Get out of here.
They did not win the popular vote. They were only at what, 23%, 24% vote.
21 and a half about.
Yeah, that's not enough to form government.
Right,
the reason why he was appointed is that he thought that he could quell the conflict. But by no means were you able to justify the things that they did with 21% of the fucking vote.
Well, I mean, it went down the way it went down, and he took control of the country, and he turned the economy around, and the German people were living a good life again. And then the propaganda comes with the 1936 Olympics, where they called it the Schnazi Olympics. Well, the National Olympic Committee chose Berlin in 1931, which was 2 years before the National Socialists took power in Germany. So that's just a bullshit. It's just an anti-German propaganda thing to say. Is all that is. And then they say that Mr. H saw it as an opportunity to profile the superiority of the Aryan athlete. Well, take a look who won the most medals that year. It was Germany. So they did pretty much kick ass that year.
Oh, so you're not
because they
libertarian.
Other countries.
You're just a fucking Nazi apologist.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. And can we get back to answering how much fascism is acceptable? I would love to fucking know.
Wait a minute. What shade of Hugo Boss is your favorite?
You guys are all talking at me at the same time.
That's true.
Yeah, I just kind of scrolled in.
I thought that wasn't allowed, Mojo.
Sorry, I was sending a message. I apologize. Yes, one person at a time, please. Please, thank you.
Yeah,
there actually, believe it or not, there is an actual ability to be an objective viewer of history. Finding out what happened is important. Finding out why it happened, in my opinion, is just as important.
To Czechoslovakia invite them, and so did Poland?
What, to go into the country, you mean?
Yeah, were they welcomed?
No. He invaded Poland.
Did he invade the other ones?
He invaded all the countries that he went into. I don't think Austria put up much resistance. And we know France surrendered pretty quickly, but no, he wasn't invited into Poland. Neither was Russia. Poland got invaded by two different countries within the span of 2 days. Germany on the west and Russia on the east.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So was that because the German people were just better than them?
Well, I've heard multiple reasons why he went into Poland. One of the reasons I heard he went into Poland is because there was a portion of German land that was lost after World War I, and there was an indigenous German population that was living there that was being persecuted. That was one of the explanations that I read.
Who's made that argument in modern times?
Oh, I don't.
We can only wonder.
I don't know that anybody has. But hold on. But what people like you guys seem to be happy with is
it's
the
not
answer
you
that.
Guys, dude. I was in the middle of something.
Hold on. Let me finish.
I asked you a question. If you don't know, I can easily tell you who.
What was
I'm
your
surprised
question?
You don't know.
What was your question?
Putin made the same fucking argument
Oh, I didn't hear him.
You laid it up just for Putin. You're justifying what Putin did in Ukraine right now because of what Schmittler did to Poland.
When did I say it was justified?
You've been saying it the whole fucking time.
When did I say it was justified?
Yeah, your daughter's right. You do gaslight.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I am ready for the Civics crash out. I am here for it. I am getting the popcorn.
I'm not going to crash out on him. I'm just trying to get the inner schmatzy to come out so we can stop fucking.
Well,
we already got it with the Reichstag fire. There are only two answers to it. If you believe that the Social Democrats and the Communists started the fire in order to get rid of the fascist party, then you're on that side of the fence. You got the lightning bolts and everything. But if you follow historians and you know that H-Man himself started that fire and even planted the witness, which we already have this place.
Okay.
Oh, yes. He started that to blame them so he could gain power because his party didn't have, but I think it was 16% representation in the Reichstag to begin with. He needed to take power.
Brobot, don't you think it's interesting, and don't you think it's something that's never really been discussed or analyzed, how this man who came from no political privilege, no financial privilege whatsoever, a poor child living in another country, by the way, Austria, not Germany, who got thrown into jail because of his political beliefs, somehow worked his way up to become the leader of another country. You don't think that there's a lot to be unpacked there? You don't think there's a lot to be analyzed? I mean, he had to have had beer hall pass. What I'm talking about is the fact that the man had to have something about him that resonated with the German people. He had to have some kind of a message that spoke directly to them in order for him to have the absolutely absurd level of popularity that you don't think that needs to be analyzed?
Land your plane. Because this is ridiculous.
I just did.
Yeah, to sit here and say, stop fucking gaslighting. To sit here and say that he hasn't been studied, his rise to power hasn't been studied, the economic conditions of what Germany did because of the Treaty of Versailles and the fallout of the First World War, all of this shit has been studied by numerous scholars. In fact, there are experts that completely have been studied this, have written all kinds of books. There's all kinds of courses on it. So don't sit here and be like, isn't that interesting? Isn't that nobody talks? Plenty of fucking people talk about it as warning signs when the conditions are so bad not to fucking follow false idols like that. What we're witnessing now in the U.S.
What did he have to
say?
Are you fucking kidding me? So you're going to tell me that he was
you're
magically...
interrupting. I'm not done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So don't make it seem like, he came out of fucking nowhere. It, of course, was the economic conditions. Anybody that read the Treaty of Versailles knew that there was going to be another fucking war coming. You can't just blame everything on Germany the way that they did. It was bound to happen eventually. But when the economic conditions are so fucking bad and the people are looking at that, they're desperate. That's why his rise of popularity was so important, which is why we've done a really good job to make sure that our poor are taken care of, because we don't want them to fucking rise up and follow a false idol.
So everything he said.
Let's be honest here, Evan, because you know that H-Man went to jail. He went to jail over the beer Harpast, which he did in like 1921 or 22. This was just after the First World War. Like the First World War ended in 1919, I believe.
That he fought in. Yeah, that he fought in. Yeah.
So this new republic, the Weimar Republic, was super young. He went into the beer hall and had a whole stump speech on overthrowing this brand new government. That's why he was thrown in jail. The economic ruin had not happened yet. That doesn't come until like 8 years later.
Right, and this man who comes from no bloodline of privilege, doesn't come from a lot of money, yet somehow was able to work his way up to lead a country that he wasn't even born in. I find that very interesting. I find it fascinating, and I think there's lots to unpack.
What is the argument here?
And it's not an argument. It's not an argument. There had to be some truth in his message to get an entire country behind him. But that maybe that the German people were being screwed. Maybe there was a lot of outside influence in Germany, and the best interest of the German people was not being looked out for. that the government was not doing that there was a foreign element within the borders of Germany that was working against the interests of Germany.
What was the foreign element? What was the foreign element?
The Jews.
He was basically saying that the Jews were eating the dogs and the cats. But the people that live, that's basically what he was saying.
This is fucking fascinating.
Yeah, it is. It's fascinating history. I agree.
So the Jews in Poland and in Ukraine were also affecting them?
I think the thing is that the elite, the Zionists and the elite Jewish citizens of Germany were doing things that were against Germany's interest, and he labeled all of them as an enemy element within German society and within Europe as a whole.
You know who's called the liberals and Democrats that in this country recently? Donald Trump said that we were the enemy within.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So about fascism, can we get that answered, please, Evan? I'd like to go to bed.
You should go to bed because you don't understand the subject matter, so you're not going to ask a question that's going to really make any sense in the first place.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Do you really think that's true? Do you really think she doesn't understand fascism? Do you really think that she's on these lives every day talking about fascism and doesn't understand it?
I'm a
woman. Yeah, that too.
Is it because she's a woman?
No, it's because her question is so like when did you stop beating your wife, Mr. Smith? It's a question that implies an affirmative response.
Motherfucker, you asked me that question, and when I started cheating on my husband, get your shit straight, you fucking gaslighting piece of shit. Now answer the fucking question. When?
Look how triggered you are. Oh my God.
Fascism is acceptable to you.
See, your question implies an affirmative response, which is why I don't take you seriously.
No, you just don't answer questions that you know will make you look bad. You did it with the other Yahtzee who was up here, and now you've shown your face, Yahtzee, and you're trying to walk it the fuck back right now, right? And you're not doing a good job at it.
And B, you work in mental health?
You're not doing. I can call, dude. Righteous anger is righteous anger. You want to be a Yahtzee? I have every right to be angry at you being a Yahtzee. It has nothing to do with me caring for people who have mental health issues.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you need a little bit of treatment there yourself.
Your daughter doesn't love you, and you're taking it out on this entire panel right now.
So
go call your fucking daughter and say sorry.
Thank you, Dr. Freud.
Dude, you're insufferable. I just watched you've done nothing but gaslight every single person on this panel. You gaslit every single person on this panel. Yeah. You've said you don't support things you very clearly support. You refuse to answer questions that are very simple answers. You know when Call Me Mommy asks me that, you know what I say? None. How fucking hard is that? When someone asks me if I want to fuck an animal, what I say? No.
Yeah.
How hard is that?
It's an anti-intellectual question because it implies an affirmative response. So I don't entertain those kinds of silly questions.
No, not answering a question is an answer. Like everyone on this panel told you. That is an answer.
Can I ask you an intellectual question?
I don't know, can you?
Do you think that nationalism is dangerous?
No. I think it's a very good thing, actually. I'm an American nationalist. Okay, I think we should be. I think we should be proud. We should be proud. I didn't say white. I said American. I didn't
ask you if you asked white.
Somebody else said that.
Okay, cool. Are you in your fifis?
I said it.
Are you ready to just mute up for a second and let me fucking finish?
Yeah, sure. Go right ahead.
I think you're conflating nationalism and patriotism. You know the difference?
Okay. You explain the difference for me.
The difference is that you can be patriotic and love your country and be proud of your country and root for your country in, like, I don't know, a sporting event, for example. Nationalism almost always pins some part of the nation against somebody else. Usually results in, I don't know, in our current nationalistic state, blaming immigrants, for example, right? Or in the rise of nationalism in Germany was blaming the Jews. That's why nationalism is. That is why nationalism is dangerous, because it's always one group against another within the borders of that country. And in order to be great, we have to get rid of them, or we have to do something about the problem, or else our nation won't be great. That is why nationalism is dangerous. And all of a sudden you're like, hey, you know what? There's some old documents that I can find that this border or this town in Mexico was actually always part of the U.S. We should go and fucking take it. That is why nationalism is dangerous.
I don't think nationalism is dangerous if you you're saying that we're blaming immigrants. Okay, nobody's my parents were immigrants. My parents both came from other countries. Okay, my parents.
From Germany?
My mother was from Ireland. My dad was from Australia, and they came in the country legally through the legal channels. Got work visas, and then they applied for their permanent residence, and they were both given green cards. And then I was born a couple years later. My parents were immigrants because they went through the proper channels. Okay, somebody who walks into the country from another country is not an immigrant. Somebody who intentionally overstays their visitor visa or their work visa or their student visa is not an immigrant. Okay, so when people come into the country and do that, and they don't comply with our laws, and they work under the table, and they undercut the wages by doing so, they're not doing something that's in the best interest of our country. And if I'm a nationalist by saying I don't want those people here, then fine, I'll be a nationalist.
Why are they arresting people that are basically following the process? I thought you were for that.
They're not.
They are. They're arresting people going to the court.
They're not.
There was a man.
No, they're not. Because I'm answering what he just said. I'm answering what you said.
Whoa.
There was a man.
You guys, wait, hold on, B. Hold on, B. There's only one opposition on the panel right now, so we can't really throw 4 different questions at him at the same time. You got to let him respond every once in a while.
Thank you. That's if somebody is actually in the process, okay, they're subject to the jurisdiction of the court, okay, and ICE can't just step in and arrest somebody at that point because there's no grounds for an arrest, okay? When you see these people on television that are being arrested in the courthouse, you don't know if they have a federal warrant. You don't know if they have a prior order of removal or something like that. You don't know if they're going into the court and it's known that they have fraudulent documentation or they're pretending to be somebody else. So you're assuming a lot of things about cases that you don't know the actual details.
Basically, what about their oath ceremony? What about their oath ceremony? What about those people that were arrested there?
That is horseshit, okay? The idea that they were there to take the oath and become citizens right there and then, on what grounds would ICE have to come in there and arrest people?
They don't. That's the point. That is the point of fascism. That is the point. I can name you 3. I would like to finish what I was saying earlier. Is I can name you 3 right off the top of my head: Mahmoud Khalil, Abrego Garcia, and there's one man in Florida who recently had to sue. Let me finish, please. Who had to sue? Who is now in the process of suing ICE because they have been arrested 3 times when they are a legal citizen, and every single time that he tried to present his ID, every time he tried to present his passport or his birth certificate, he started carrying his birth certificate on him. They just completely ignored it. And the only reason that he was, let me finish, it is bullshit. I agree with you in that. You should look it up. And the only reason that he was, let me finish. It's an open case. It's an open case right now. You can look it up on the State Department.
Sorry.
You can look it up on the federal government's website. It is an open case right now against ICE. The only reason he was able to get out of those situations is because he was wealthy enough to be able to afford a lawyer. Simple. You can say bullshit all you want, my friend, but when it is actually happening, at that point,
it is bullshit.
You should really consider whether you are living in reality right now.
I am living in reality, okay? And you know something? Here's the thing. Here's the thing, okay? When you have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of potential interactions between people who are suspected to be in this country illegally and federal law enforcement agents, you're going to have some things that go right and you're going to have some things that go wrong. Okay.
How do they suspect
there are people who are born in this country who are everyday citizens that are falsely arrested by by regular law enforcement, city, state, county agents. Okay. Unlawful arrests happen all the time in America, and they get thrown out. The charges get dropped. Sometimes there's lawsuits and things like that. Sometimes cops get fired. So you taking these little individuals.
Went to see him.
You taking these little individual cases and saying, well, he had to start carrying his passport on him.
Yeah.
Really, he's that unlucky of a human being that he just constantly comes in contact with ICE agents.
Oh my God! Stop.
So loads of people in this country are brown looking.
Stop too. Hold on. We need to stop interrupting each other. Evan, like I said, is the only op on the panel. Speaking of which, if there are any conservatives in here that want to jump up, please let me know. Join the queue. I will bring you up.
Yeah, I'll drop when you get somebody who's a conservative.
I live in a brown city, B. I live in Los Angeles, for Christ's sake. Do you think there's brown people everywhere. Have I seen one ICE agent in the 6 months that I've been living there?
Because Governor
No.
Newsom
God
has
damn it! Why can't you let him finish a fucking statement?
He asked me a question, to be fair.
Governor Newsom has. Governor Newsom.
Can I answer the question that you asked me? You said why.
Governor,
you asked me. No, you asked me a question.
Governor Newsom.
Okay, you did.
He has no.
Wait, hold on. You gotta be fair, Evan. You did ask her a question. Don't ask questions if you don't want answers.
Governor Newsom, which I think is a complete moron, idiot, I hate him so much, has worked tirelessly to keep ICE out of LA. Do I think it was for a good reason? No, I think that he realizes that his state heavily benefits the billionaire class with this immigrant labor. I don't think he is moralistic in this, but the reason you're not seeing it in places like LA or the Bay Area, California, is because he is actively pushing ICE out.
He has B, you don't seem to understand how government works, okay? Governor Newsom has absolutely no authority whatsoever to tell ICE agents that they can't come into LA or Sacramento or Atascadero, for that matter. He has no authority whatsoever to tell federal law enforcement agents that they cannot come into the city and enforce federal law. So you're completely wrong about that.
But he can tell state and local enforcement to not comply with federal authorities,
and he has.
They constantly do.
And he has. Yeah, that's what these woke Democrat blue state leaders do. You're right.
So you do understand.
Then she was right.
She wasn't right.
So you do understand that, like, the Supreme Court removed provisions to prevent ICE from racially profiling. You know that, right?
That's not true.
Literally is fucking true.
No, it is not fucking true. You either didn't read the ruling or you don't understand the subject matter. Okay, the Supreme Court said that demographic could be considered in addition to other things. It cannot be the primary or only thing that you use as reasonable suspicion to detain someone.
Yeah, they're still basically detaining people. That's why now I have to carry a fucking passport now every time I go.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
You have that white fucking privilege.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Why are you telling him his reality right now?
Because he doesn't have to carry a passport with him.
Again, I didn't interrupt you. So you have no idea. You have no idea what it's like to be in this country from Latin American descent. It's a different. It's a different. Hey, listen, white boy. It's a different form. It's a different form of racism that we have to deal with. You have no fucking idea.
That's not racist to call me white boy, right?
No, because you are white, and you are a white man, right? So you're a white boy.
Are you a white boy?
Please shut your mouth for a second. Please stop interrupting. Please stop interrupting.
What's your demographics?
Please stop interrupting. I'm not done. You have no idea what it's like for Stryker to walk around in the country. Doesn't matter what city he's in. Abso-fucking-lutely, plenty of Latin American people within the country, whether they speak Spanish or not, or whether they speak Portuguese, or whether they have dark skin or light skin, it doesn't fucking matter. They don't feel safe. They have to walk around with their passports. Fuck.
No, they don't.
Half of them have to walk around, even if they're born in the U.S., with a birth certificate saying that yes, they fucking do.
That's such a fucking lie, dude.
Idea.
That's
Stryker,
such a fucking lie. It's not even funny. No, he doesn't have to do that.
Hey, fuckface, I'm not done. I'm asking Stryker a question. This doesn't involve you right now. Stryker, is this something that you have to do?
Yeah, basically, it's something that I carry around because, like, it's basically it's not like before where, like, you know, I can go for a run and then it never came to my mind to where, like, shit, should I bring my wallet? You know, like I was seeing reports about ICE being like in the area that I live at, and the one thing I don't want to be is be fucking asshole or fucking like taken because ICE doesn't really give a shit to see my fucking passport, or they're like fucking pricks and they'll fucking take me to a place where who knows where we're all fucking going and shit, you know? Because that's where a lot of people there's people that have been citizens that have been detained for fucking days. Their families not even knowing where they're at, right? So even if I know that I'm not gonna fucking be like fucking I don't think I'm gonna be fucking deported and shit, but I do know that it's a way to prevent from being fucking loaded up into a fucking car and sent somewhere.
What would their grounds for stopping you be if you're out there going for a run?
Well, specifically, I wouldn't hang your hat on that because, as former law enforcement, I can tell you that, well, you just say things like, well, they fit a description, what they're wearing, height, weight, like that's all you really need. You don't have to do it based on race, but I mean, if they fit a description.
Yeah, this is just a boogeyman argument. It's not necessary. Like I said, I live in Los Angeles. Okay, I guarantee the people in downtown LA are not walking around with their passports or their copy of their birth certificate in their pocket. It's a bunch of nonsense.
How do you know
you ask every one of us?
Yeah.
Do I have to? Do I have to?
Evan, let me ask you this. Evan, let me ask you this. You live in LA. You happen to be around a lot of Latinos. Strike and Art happen to be fucking Latino. Who's closer to the fucking community? You or us?
What do you mean? Who's closer to the community? I live in the community.
Again, who's closer to the community? People that are actually fucking Latino.
Okay, but I'm not Latino.
Like you?
Oh, I'm a white boy.
So who's closer? It's a pretty simple question.
Well, I'm not Latino.
Okay, so then when we are telling you what our lived experience is like from our family members and from our friends, and you're saying that it's bullshit, how do you think that makes us feel?
I think you're full of shit. I think you're just making stuff up.
I think you're a racist Nazi, but that's different.
That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. I know what I am and I know what I'm not.
Cool. So again, are you going to tell me about your Hugo Boss uniform? You want to put on your camera?
Do me a favor. Do me a favor, though. Don't tell my grandson because he's half Mexican, and I wouldn't want him to know that I hate Hispanic people. Okay.
Did you just say you have a black friend? Is that what you just said? Really?
Yeah.
No, I said I said I have my grandson is half Mexican, and I don't want him to know.
Do you half love him?
He's got a
half brown friend. He's got a half brown friend then.
So you want to love half of them, right?
Yeah. I mean, I love the white half. I guess, right? That's what you want me to say.
I mean, you said it.
No. I work with loads of people of Latin American and Hispanic descent, however you want to say it. We get along famously. We're all cool. I love the music. I love the culture. I don't hate anybody from coming from Central or South Mexico or Central or South America. I vacation in Colombia all the time. I love Hispanic people. Yeah, I do.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah,
there's a term for that, right?
Is there?
Yeah.
No, I'm not there for that kind of tourism. I don't patronize prostitutes, and I don't do illegal substances.
You filled in the blanks there, sir.
What blanks are you talking about? If you're implying that I go to Colombia for prostitution and white powder, you're wrong. That's not why I go there.
I didn't say any of that. You did.
Well, you said that there's a word for that. What's the word for somebody who American guy, white American guy who vacations in?
Oh, I was just going to say that you're a world traveler. You're the one that fucking jumped to the conclusion there.
Yeah, I mean, I am. I've been quite a lot. I did 20 years in the U.S. Army. I
would have just said I was a tourist. Like, holy shit.
Well, I mean,
you like coffee.
Not necessarily. I don't know if I'm a tourist or not. I find Colombia just a wonderful place to be, which is why I go there very often. Very nice people, very, very good food. And, the cost of living is very low there. I actually plan on retiring there. So, kind of destroys your argument that I'm like this racist Nazi who hates Hispanic people,
So you're basically...
No, that's just what I'm gathering from your comments. But the point is that you're sitting there saying that it's bullshit that people that we know are walking around with their passports because it's a reality that we have to deal with, and you saying that it's bullshit, kind of a slap in the face, but it's not.
Well, it is bullshit because if you're an American citizen, if you're born in the United States or you're a naturalized citizen, you're not going to get deported.
But if you look like Stryker and me, we have to fucking walk around with our passports or quote unquote our papers because that's the fucking reality of the U.S. right now.
No, you don't. No, you don't. And that's not what you have to do.
And refusing to acknowledge that is privilege, sir. Have you ever been called a white privileged piece of shit? Because that's what you are.
Yeah,
you're living in white privilege by denying our reality. I hate to break it to you.
It's not your reality.
This is what white privilege looks like right now. This conversation.
It's not your reality, brother.
All right.
And unless you're an Afro Latino, you're white as well, buddy. Whether you like it or not, the federal government of the United States classifies you as white.
Too. We're also indigenous.
So you're still classified as white.
No, white is not indigenous.
I didn't say. I didn't. If you're of a Native American ancestry, No, then that's a different category. But if you are Hispanic, unless you are Afro-Latino, you are classified by the federal government as a white man.
That were pure Spaniard.
No. You go to the FBI most wanted list and find somebody who's Hispanic, and you'll see it says race.
Yeah, there'll be people who are Hispanic that have. So there's the difference between Hispanic and Latino. Hispanic implies more of like a Spaniard kind of heritage. Latino is more of like from Latin America.
Oh, okay.
So basically, people from that region have more.
But again, the federal government, the federal.
I just got to correct it real quick.
Okay.
Hispanics are people that speak Spanish, whether it's Latin America or from Spain. It doesn't matter. That's what Hispanic is. Latino can also include Portuguese and the Caribbean. That's the difference.
Okay.
Okay, you got that wrong.
But there was a girl in my last unit who was very, very dark complected. Last name Rodriguez Perez from the Dominican Republic, and in the system she's listed as racial category white, and then his ethnicity was Hispanic. So because she's not Afro-Latino. So,
yeah, but you could do other and Hispanic though.
No, not in the military. You can't. You got to get put in. You got to get put into one of those categories.
I'm sorry. All of your federal forms have an other category, and all of your federal forms have Hispanic or Latino on them. All of them.
Not in the military. Not in the military.
I'm pretty sure they do.
No, sir.
These are federal. That. These are federal forms. They're all the same.
The United States military would, if a guy names Jose Rodriguez, okay, for just to throw out a generic name, and his family is, both of his parents are Mexican, from Mexico, and he was born in the United States, and he joins the military, he's going down as racial category white.
Okay, so
there is no racial.
I'm sorry, military forms. I'm sorry. Hold on. Military forms generally align with federal standards. Race categories: white, black, African American, American Indian, Alaskan, Native, Asian, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander. Additional options: multiracial, unknown, or other, ethnicity, Hispanic, Latino, or not Hispanic, Latino. So I am sorry, but even military forms do have multiracial, unknown, or other. So you can say other, and you can say Hispanic, and you can label yourself as that on a military form as well.
That's incorrect, sir.
I am looking at the form right now.
Which form is it? Which DA form is it?
I don't fucking know. Example, it doesn't say which DA form it is. I don't fucking know.
It says that it should
go look it up yourself. Go look it up yourself.
I don't have to look it up myself. I don't.
You do because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I do know what. How much time in the military do you have, bro?
100 years.
Exactly, right?
100 years.
100 years. Okay, yeah, 0 exactly.
100 years.
Okay, I did 20 years in the U.S. Army as a medic. I know exactly what the Army forms say. Okay. Hispanic is not a racial category. You can have black Hispanics.
I didn't say it was a racial category. I didn't say it was a racial category. Other
exactly. So if
other, hey, dipshit, other is a racial category.
I'm not a dipshit because you don't understand.
Other is a racial category. Hispanic or Latino is an ethnicity. So you can answer other and Hispanic Latino.
Not in the U.S. Army, you can.
Yes, you can. It is on the form.
No, you cannot. You are not in the Army, so how would you know?
Does it say other on the military forms?
No.
Does it say mixed race on the military forms?
No, it doesn't say that either.
It does.
No, not in the Army.
It does too. It does.
Not in the Army. It doesn't. No, it does not.
It does.
You've done 0 time in the Army. You wouldn't know.
Evan, are you a recruiter?
No, I was a medic.
Have you been a recruiter at any point?
I've participated in recruiting events, but I was never an actual recruiter.
Okay, when did you go into the Army?
2005.
So you're going off of forms from 20 years ago. Have you seen any of these forms?
No, dude, I went in 2005. Okay, I got out in 25. Okay, and it's the same thing, and nothing has changed. And I know people who who are still in. Nothing has changed with these forms. Nothing's changed with the way the Army classifies people when it comes to racial and ethnic category. So either way, I mean, and you know what? If you feel that brown, they say brown people or Hispanic people or whatever, that should be considered a race or a completely separate category, I think there's an argument to be made there, but that's not how the government's doing it, and that's not how the military is classifying people. So anyhow.
Okay, so this is opm.gov forms. This is specifically the form that's given out to, I looked up, when joining the U.S. Army, you fill out form SF-181, ethnicity and race identification. Do you agree with that?
The SF form 181, I know the 180. I'm not really, I don't remember the 181.
Sure, yeah.
We also have an Army vet in the comments. He's saying it's DA 1058R.
Let me see, 1058. There was a specific form that we used for in processing Ranger candidates, and I believe it was a DA form 2808. And it had strict ethnicity and race.
I'm just going to do this right here.
Okay.
So this is opm.gov. This is opm.gov. This is the 181 form. I can back this up, by the way. So this is ethnicity and race identification. It does have other, and it does have Hispanic and or Latino on it. Now, if I back this up, AI overview. When joining the U.S. Army, you fill out SF-181 ethnicity and race identification to report your background. This is when joining the U.S. Army. This is the form. So when I click on that, it brings me here. That brings me to the OPM, and this is the form that comes up. So this is the form we're talking about, and this is the form that you can click. You can check other, and you can check Latino and Hispanic. You do not have to check white at all.
What's the date on the form down at the bottom? I think it would be bottom left.
This is revised
if you can
August.
Even see it.
This is revised August 2005.
Yeah, I think that's an old form. I think there's a new one since then, and that's an SF.
This is a .gov. I'm sorry, this is a .gov.
I understand.
That I'm looking at.
I understand, sir. I understand.
It's also
an S form.
It's also Department of State. I can give you a Department of State as well. This is the form that needs to be filled out. This is the form that needs to be filled out when you join the U.S. Army. I'm telling you that
standard. No, hold on. It's a standard form. I mean, it's used for all branches. It's an SF form. I'm not talking about SF forms. I'm talking about DA, Department of the Army forms. Okay, and I'm talking about DA systems, the Department of the Army systems.
God,
okay, a DA form 20. A DA form 2808, I don't believe the current version has other as racial category.
So Evan is technically correct because there are forms that are given out at MEPS, which is Military Enlistment Processing, and some of those forms do not in fact have quote-unquote other as an option. So
correct.
He's technically correct.
Yeah. And again, like I said, if you think that Hispanic should be a racial category or there should be something other than white for people who are from places like Mexico or Central or South America, then I think there's an argument to be made there, but that's not how things are being done at this time.
Mojo, did you look up the DA 1098 form?
this is the DA 2808. Is what I'm looking at right now. Was what he just said, right?
Yeah, I think that's the form that we used when we were in processing people for Ranger School.
It does have a racial category. It does have a racial category on here. It does not offer another. You are correct. This one particular one does not. American Indian, Alaskan Native, Black, or African American. Select one. It does say you have to select one. It does say ethnic category.
Yes, and you should see the face of some of my former colleagues who are from Mexican or Colombian ancestry who didn't bother to check a box, and I had to ask them, "Hey, are you black?" And they were like, "No," and I said, "Well, then I have to put you down as white." So the look on their face was kind of interesting sometimes.
That is pretty crazy.
The look on their face was interesting. Yeah, that's life. I know, right? Like I said, if you want to have a discussion that there should be a separate category, then like I said, I do believe there's an argument to be made. Yeah, there should be. I think there's an argument to be made there, but maybe human beings are too diverse to be able to put into 5 different little boxes.
Hey, so real quick, is my audio working?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, most wonderful. So I came up because of the conversation that was being having that people don't walk around with their passports in their pockets. I most definitely do. I carry around my U.S. passport when I'm walking around in the city that I live in. And the reason I do that is because there is simply no other document that I can have on me that would prove my citizenship. So fact of the matter is, it's not bullshit that people do that. It's very much true.
You don't have a social security card? Yeah, I have a social security card, but I also have my birth certificate on me. I always have them both in my wallet.
So I don't carry my social security card around on me. I would rather have my passport, to be honest.
Well, the only time I carry my passport on me is when I'm in Colombia, so I have it on me at all times.
Right, but if I'm walking around and if I need to prove citizenship, a passport is significantly more practical than a social security card.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's 3 people now that have told you their lived realities. Are you going to deny it?
It's his choice. He's choosing to do this.
Well,
okay, he doesn't have to do it. He's choosing to do it. Now, do I have to do it?
Choosing, hold on. No, fuck you. You're choosing.
Do I have to?
You're choosing to deny the reality of people because it's quote unquote our choice. No, that is the fucking reality.
It is your choice.
That is the reality that this administration has put on American fucking citizens.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Brent,
that's bullshit.
Did you have to do it 4 years ago? Stryker, did you have to do it 4 years ago?
No. I didn't have
exactly.
You don't have to do it now. Fuck you. You don't have to do it now at all. That's a bunch of horseshit.
There's no reason to say fuck you. Can you please not do that? There's no reason to say
I'm sorry, Mojo. I'm sorry,
no,
but
you
it's
didn't
true.
Say it. You didn't say it.
I did say it. I did say it.
Okay. Thank you.
I did say it. But this is the reality, man. It wasn't a reality 4 years ago. This is the
Was it a reality when Obama was deporting millions of people? Was it reality then?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay. Well, why not? Why was it not reality then?
Obama didn't make ICE into his own fucking private Gestapo.
Oh, so ICE wasn't arresting anybody during the Obama administration.
Even a budget that rivals the fucking U.S. military. ICE was not.
So they weren't out there arresting anybody.
Like they were a fucking invading military force. All right, that's right there. I remember seeing on TV ICE being in fucking downtown LA, fucking going in there like they're going through fucking Fallujah and shit in fucking fatigues. All right, we didn't see that shit with Obama. We didn't see
this is why I don't take
fucking invasion.
This is why
we saw it live on TV. Fool, you should have seen that shit too. You were in LA too, right? You saw that shit, and then marching through fucking MacArthur Park
in January. That's when I got there. That's when I got there in January. I don't know when the MacArthur Park thing went down.
Oh, so you haven't been visited for a long time then?
I've only been there since January. Yeah.
Okay, I've been here for that. I've been here. I was born here. I went to the place when I grew up, but I've lived here for like the past 10 years.
Yeah, and I've driven all the way up Wilshire Boulevard past MacArthur Park. I don't see any ICE agents anywhere. I've been in the city for months. Where's ICE?
Yeah,
where's ICE hanging out?
California and LA have been more stricter on fucking ICE agents than pretty much other places. Right?
They have hold on, bro.
And
the city of Los Angeles, Stryker, the city of Los Angeles, the mayor or the county executive or the governor of California, they have no authority whatsoever to tell ICE where they can set up and where they can be. If they try to put the LAPD on ICE and try to tell ICE you got to get out of this area, ICE can tell them to piss off. They have no authority to interfere in federal law enforcement operations. So this idea that LA is protecting its people by telling ICE to stay out is just simply not true. They don't have the authority to do that.
Okay, so real quick, 2 comments. One, do you agree that ICE operates in unmarked vehicles and without any actual identification that designates them as federal agents?
Yeah, I believe they do operate in unmarked vehicles, like a lot of law enforcement agencies do. And I've seen multiple different kinds of uniforms that they're wearing. Some say police on them. I don't know what's up with that, but it's pretty obvious that they are law enforcement when they're doing their thing.
Right. So based on your comments saying that you've never seen them, So haven't a lot of other people, because a lot of the times they are in unmarked vehicles and in, as you just mentioned, in uniforms that can either be inconspicuous or designating them as non-federal agents like police.
No, I mean, no, it's very obvious when they're outside of a vehicle that they are law enforcement. They do carry weapons. They do have body armor on. They do have radios on. They have helmets on and stuff like that.
But a lot of the times they don't do that, and you specifically
they do. They do. They don't come out.
Hold on. You specifically mentioned that you've never seen ICE operates. If there was a operation going on, would you be able to differentiate either a DEA raid, a SWAT raid, or an ICE raid?
I'm not sure.
Exactly.
But I haven't seen anything like that going down in downtown Los Angeles, and I've driven all the way up to Beverly Hills on Wilshire Boulevard, past MacArthur Park. And all that stuff. So they're not out there in droves just rounding up and kidnapping people like you guys on the left accuse them of doing. I mean, downtown LA is full of people who don't look like me, and I don't see ICE down there just rounding up and kidnapping brown people like people on the left claim.
Hold on. That's part of my point, which is you don't see them because you're not supposed to. Because if they're undercover, then you're not supposed to.
Oh, come on, dude.
Okay,
Come on.
The one who said
come on.
So, okay, second
dude,
point.
Come on. If they're out there doing their thing, of course I'm going to see them. I'm just saying that I haven't seen them. They're not invisible. They're not wearing civilian clothing.
Some of them are.
I haven't seen. No, they're no. Why would they be wearing? They're not working like that. They're not when they're actually enforcing a raid. If they're raiding a business, or if they have a known location of a wanted person on a federal warrant, they're not coming there in just regular civilian clothing. They're pulling up in vehicles and getting out in force.
They absolutely would be in civilian clothing to make themselves inconspicuous. And
haven't seen any videos like that.
Vehicles.
Haven't seen any videos like that.
The second point I wanted to make was that let's pretend for a second that you, Evan, got pulled over by an ICE agent, and then you were asked for proof of citizenship. What documents do you have on hand to prove that?
I have a New Jersey driver's license. Let me look at my wallet real quick. I mean, I have my Social Security card. I have my retired military ID. Yeah, I got plenty of things to prove who I am.
So a driver's license doesn't prove citizenship.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Let me see what I have here.
Everybody carries a Social Security card, and it's kind of weird that you would to begin with.
I do.
Only like 1% of the U.S. population is actually in the military.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, you asked me what I carry on me to prove citizenship.
You can be in the military and not be a citizen. You can have a Social Security card and not be a citizen.
But you have to have a green card. You have to have a green card to be in the military.
The ICE agents themselves would have to understand that the last 3 digits are the ones that matter.
So right? What would they be pulling me over in the first place for?
I don't know, man. Driving while racist? I have no idea.
Rolling a red light, rolling a stop sign.
They don't have impeding traffic. ICE agents cannot pull people over.
Wait, see, this is the problem.
Agents cannot pull people over for those reasons.
And yet they do.
No, they don't, and they don't have the authority to pull you over for running a red light.
Well, then explain Sarah Good.
She was what the fuck are you? She was fucking obstructing what they were doing. She was obstructing and there to antagonizing people.
Hey, so there you go. That's what they pulled you over for.
By driving down the street, I'm obstructing.
You could be slowing them down from reaching their destination. You're obstructing.
No, they're not going to do that.
They can stop you for whatever reason they want to.
No, they cannot. No, they can't.
Yeah,
they don't have they don't have authority to pull you over unless they have reason. No, you don't. You see, this is the whole problem with you people. You talk about you don't understand the subject matter. You simply don't understand the subject matter, and that doesn't stop you from talking about it.
Hold on, everybody.
You people on the left. You people on the left.
Hold on. So you just said that they can't do that, but we already saw in the Sarah Good video that one of the vehicles of the ICE agents just went around her. So either they can
why
or
was
they
she
cannot.
in the street? Why was she in the street?
Why were
with her
you
car
in the
parked
street
like that?
Why were you in the street?
I'm driving down in the road in our hypothetical scenario
Try
here.
driving my brown or black. See what can happen to you.
Rah, that is not helpful.
Oh, stop!
So
That's
once
such a
again,
stupid thing to say.
Once again, if they can go around her, yet they have the authority to order her out of the vehicle or even puke her in the vehicle,
They did.
Then they've got the authority to stop you.
No, not for no good reason. No, you have to, in order for law enforcement to actually detain you, they have to have reasonable suspicion that a crime is or is about to be committed.
But sadly,
okay, so they just
Evan, that might be true in normal police activity, but even in my podunk little town outside of New York City, we have now taken videos of people being stopped because they're brown and Hispanic looking. I hate to break it to you as a Hispanic woman myself. No, it is true.
No, it's not. No, it is not. No, it is not true. What is so? What is in the video that where they say we're pulling you over because you're brown?
The video says the guy has an expired whatever, not anything to do with driving, and that there was an outstanding warrant for this guy for deportation. But the thing is,
that's why he got stopped. You just told me why he got stopped.
Wait, the car wasn't registered in his name. The license wasn't registered in his name. So why did they stop him?
How did they know that he had a warrant?
Well, once they ran his name. So tell me why they stopped him.
I don't know the reason for the stop. I'd have to see the paperwork
exactly.
on that.
So the reason
you're assuming that he was stopped because he was brown. Yeah, you are. Of course you are.
Sadly,
but because what evidence do you have? What evidence do you have?
The Supreme Court. Evan, hi. My name is Fee. I am a proud Boricua, Puerto Rican. Whose grandfather, thank you, whose grandfather was Taino, whose mother was brown.
Okay.
Who married somebody from this family from the 1646. So I am, for all intents and purposes, a white person.
Okay.
So I will never get stopped.
Okay. Okay.
Unless it's by the local police. So I'm asking you why we have brown and Latino people constantly being pulled over by ICE with no justification for it.
How do you know there's no justification? How are you that
because they're not traffic cops.
But so you you don't know why they were pulled over. You're just assuming. Why? You're assuming bad faith. Yes, you are. You're assuming bad faith on the part of ICE.
They're not police officers, correct? In our town,
they are federal law enforcement agents.
They don't have the right to pull over people for quote unquote traffic violations. They do not.
That's correct. That's correct.
So, Evan, you just made her point.
You just did.
Well, you made my point as well. Because you just said that they can't pull you over, but then you said that they can pull you over.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Pull them over for not the local police, not the state police. They were pulled over in our little town outside of New York City, and then found out, quote unquote, we pulled them over because somebody recorded this. Because we now have white moms recording all around where we know ICE is in our town because we don't want them here. We don't want ICE in our town.
That's too bad. That's too bad. No, they're going to be there.
Another brown person up here, me, I'm a light brown person, though, so I can pass, but my mom got asked for her papers in South Carolina.
My mom would have been asked, too.
By who?
By the police.
What do you mean the police? Which police?
The actual motherfucking police. Boys in blue.
Red and white. Are you eating in my ear right now,
Which department, Rara? Which department are you talking about?
Traffic. Traffic, I guess. It's a little town, so really no department, but traffic. Yes, that's what you can call them.
Traffic. Okay. In what? So this is a city police department?
Do you not understand anything that I'm saying?
Oh, no, I'm trying to be. You're being very vague. You're not being specific.
This is a county Marlboro County in South Carolina. She was pulled over by city cops there. Is that enough?
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
And so what was she pulled over for by city police?
It doesn't matter. We're talking about
I don't know, boo-boo. I don't know, boo-boo. I just know she got pulled over and
it doesn't matter. Evan, it doesn't matter.
It does matter. It does matter. No, it does matter.
We're talking about ICE.
No,
it was
hold
like
on.
a headlight or something.
She's okay. So she was pulled over for a headlight. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me that this city police department asked her to prove her citizenship?
Yes, and now are you going to tell me that I'm lying like you've told Civics he's lying, like you've told Stryker he's lying, like you've told Graham they're lying, and you've also told Fee and Brobot. Now you're going to tell me.
Was it just your mom, or were you there as well?
No, I wasn't there. You think my mama's lying to me? She voted for Trump, my guy. What the fuck? She ain't lying.
No. Okay, so did the police officer have a body camera?
Oh my God! I don't know. We didn't ask.
I would ask because I don't believe that story. I don't believe that a city police department asked you. What ethnicity is your mom? Is she white?
American.
Is she black?
She's Native American.
So a city police department who is tasked with
Did anybody else get the story?
A city police department is tasked with enforcing the laws of the city and the local traffic laws and the state laws.
Sir, I live in the South.
Felt it necessary. Hold on. You're telling me that a city police officer.
Listen, I'm not answering again. I told you it was.
A city police officer asked your mom to present her papers.
I told you that already.
Okay, so what made him think that she was not from the United States?
Because she's brown. Did I not just tell you that also?
See, that's a bullshit story.
And you're
a total bullshit story.
And you've been up here being racist the whole time. I said what I said.
It's a bullshit story. I call bullshit.
Oh well, your mama was bullshit.
And that's all you got. That's all you got.
Yeah, now you started racism.
I didn't say. What did I say that was racist?
You're steadily telling brown people that they're lying about racial profiling. That has been going on in the United States since the beginning of time.
I believe your story is bullshit. I'm going to call bullshit on your story.
Okay, we'll call bullshit.
Rah.
Okay.
Rah.
Mojo, he still keeps telling everybody
because I tell you what, and I'll do this on video. If she tells me which city police department did that, I'll call the chief. And I'll have a conversation with the chief about that because I don't believe a city police officer is out there trying to enforce federal immigration law. Period.
Hey, Evan.
South Carolina.
South Carolina. You mean the state that has a black senator? Yeah, that racist place. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Tim Scott is a senator.
Just because your senator is black doesn't mean that your police isn't necessarily being indiscriminate.
Oh, whatever, dude. I know. Racism. You know, the same people who say that America is such a racist country against people of color, for some reason want more people of color to come here. How does that make any sense? How does that make any sense?
You seem to like to passionately gaslight.
I'm not gaslighting anybody. I want actual proof. I want proof. I want actual proof of what you're saying.
There's 3 of us on here that are telling you our reality, and you still deny.
No, you're telling me.
And now
you're telling me your irrational fears is what you're talking about. Your absolutely irrational and baseless fears.
That is a reality.
It's not a reality.
We don't have the privilege of not being taken away, even though we are American citizens.
Bullshit. You're not. American citizens are not being taken away. I know it's hard for you to hear.
American citizens are not being taken away. It's difficult for you to hear.
You are not being reality.
Just stop. I know that you're the only person on here, but you make it really difficult to have a conversation when you are interrupting consistently. Please stop doing that, Evan.
Well, you know what? I get to give my opinion too, and they talk over me just as much. Okay?
Why don't you wait till we finish? Do you see how I'm calm?
Why don't you wait till I finish? Well, I don't care if you're calm. Who cares? You're still wrong, whether you're calm or not. You're still wrong.
What am I wrong about, Evan?
The idea that you, as an American citizen, have to go around scared that ICE is going to jump out of the bushes and take you away because you look brown. Okay, it's bullshit. It's a total bullshit story.
It's just the reality, man. I don't know.
It's not the reality. It's your ridiculous, irrational Trump derangement syndrome fear is what it is.
It's not Trump derangement syndrome. It's just the reality.
Absolutely, it is. It's not a reality.
There's 3 of us telling you. Are we? What do we? Let me ask you this way. Evan, what do the 3 of us have to gain by lying about it?
what do you have to gain?
Yeah, why would we lie to you right now?
Well, because you want to make it seem like you're some kind of a victim here in the United States. Because you hate Donald Trump.
It's just the reality of it.
I want to make this the reality. So the reality is Nome versus Vasquez Perdomo. Do you know that Supreme Court ruling?
Nome versus Vasquez Perdomo?
Perdomo, yes. Do you know that?
No, I don't know that specific case, no.
Okay, the U.S. Supreme Court in a 6-3 decision effectively permitted federal immigration agents to use racial profiling in roving patrols. The ruling allows agents to consider race, ethnicity, and language, such as speaking Spanish, as factors for stopping individuals.
Right, not as the primary reason and not as the only reason.
It is the primary reason. They can absolutely
true, sir.
Go read the ruling, Nome versus Vasquez. They can stop somebody and ask for identification because of their race, ethnicity, or language that they're speaking.
No, they can't.
They absolutely cannot.
That's not what the
go read the ruling.
Said.
You didn't even know what the ruling.
That is not what the ruling says.
You're going to shut up. You didn't know about the ruling before I just gave it to you. You had absolutely no idea. You're going to need to go read the ruling. You're going to need to go read the ruling because you don't understand what it says. You need to go read it, and this is exactly what they're doing right now with roving patrols.
That's not true. You don't understand the subject matter. No, you don't understand the subject matter, bro.
It is true.
Educate us there, big boy.
I just did.
Mojo wrong.
I just did. You couldn't use ethnicity or race or language or anything like that as a contributing factor when you're trying to build reasonable suspicion to detain someone.
Until that ruling.
And now, right, exactly. And now you can use it as part of everything else.
No, you can use it as the only reason to ask for identification.
It is absolutely not true. That's not what the ruling says.
It is true. That is exactly what the ruling says.
It's not what the ruling says.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it absolutely is not. No, you're wrong because you don't understand.
Hold on. Hey, Evan, I'm on your side here. Relax. Mojo, yes. Have you considered Mojo? He's right.
Not yet. I haven't considered that yet.
You're totally right, Evan. Jesus, you're not a racist. I get it. It works.
Yeah, you act like a 5-year-old, man. That's fine. Argue like a woman on her menstrual cycle. That's fine.
Evan,
you're displaying why your daughter doesn't like you.
Don't get personal with me, dude. Don't use my daughter for it. Dude, shut up.
As a little girl, what you didn't want to go to her wedding. I'm sure what
does your family think of you, bud?
Oh, they love you.
What does your family think of you?
They love you.
I'm sure you're
my wedding. They were happy.
And you've had no problems with. And don't get fucking personal with me, dude.
No one in my family doesn't speak.
Just because you're a fucking left-wing scumbag who hates this country.
Oh yeah, now I'm a scumbag.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Mojo.
Yeah, we're not getting anywhere. He's such a fucker. He's not listening to a goddamn thing. I gave him the Supreme Court ruling that allowed him to do that, and he's just throwing a bunch of insults too. So whatever. Now it's a bunch of liberals. We can all bitch about, dude.
Oops, sorry.
No, I wanted to say it was Evan. I wanted to tell Evan it was Larry McNeil is the sheriff of Marlboro County, South Carolina. I think he was the sheriff at the time. It was either him or Charles Lemon, but Charles Lemon got let go. He got federally indicted for beating having a CO beat someone up. So check it, Charles Lemon or Larry McNeil, Marlboro, South Carolina.
And I want to tell him that my nephew teaches at the Ranger School and would never, ever, ever have the same sort of attitude that he has. And he's been in over 10 years and teaches now. I'm not going to say where he teaches because that would be too much, but he does not represent the Army nor all Rangers. And I'm really sad about that.
Which is even worse. But South Carolina is famous for racist law enforcement, which is why I was like, are you serious that you don't think that South Carolina, of all places, might not fucking racially profile people when they pull them over?
Yeah, I don't even know. They've racially profiled me, and I could pass at times, to be honest with you.
I wanted to tell him about the war and the white men were coming after him, and then I was going to throat punch him, too. I was so angry listening to him.
Yeah, that's why I really stopped coming on TikTok. I never be on here. I can't deal with him.
It's just, was he Hispanic? Did I miss this part?
No, he's white, man.
Oh, no, that guy was advocating for the Schmazis and Hitler. Are you kidding me?
No, let me repeat. I didn't hear a lot of the conversation. I was happy to see Mojo live again. It's been a while. I've read 3 books since Mojo was away for a little bit.
Fuck, I wish I would have done that. I was sitting around watching TV.
I was so proud of myself, Mojo. You inspired some, and it was non-fiction. It was fiction too. I was thrilled. My brain started working again.
I guarantee I didn't inspire you to read books because I don't read shit.
You did. You weren't live, and I like you because you're tough on both liberals and conservatives. You're equally an asshole to both, and I appreciate that.
That can't be a good. Wait, that can't be a good thing.
It is a good boy. I'm married to one. It is a good thing. I'm married to an asshole. His mother taught me how to call him that. His mother. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
What did you watch, Mojo?
Mojo, what'd you watch on TV, friend? Anything good?
He walked off, I think.
Oops, he went out for
Sorry. I'm still
Anything good on TV you watched?
I watched the TV show Citadel.
Oh, my daughter's watching The Boys. What a Mother's Day that was. We went out to dinner tonight.
I was thinking about watching The Boys, but then I don't know if anybody knows the Citadel. Priyanka?
Yes.
Kind of got me hooked a little bit. So then I watched The Bluff today too, which is a new movie that she was in.
That was so good.
What he's saying is he's got the hots for Priyanka. Not the hots, but he admires her.
I didn't even know who she was before I started watching Citadel. I watched because of the old bald dude, that guy that he was Julia Child's husband on the Julia and Julia.
Stanley Tucci?
Stanley Tucci, yeah. He was the husband of Julia Childs on the movie Julia and Julia or whatever.
Yes.
Yep.
And he also did some like traveling around Italy thing, tasting foods and shit.
He's iconic.
Yeah, I know him. So anyway, that's why I started watching the show, and then I realized, well, there's this woman on here. Who the hell is this woman? And then I'm like, oh my God, she's been around forever, and I didn't even know who she was before this. So
he's married to one of the Jonas Brothers.
I know. I didn't know that either. That's crazy.
Yep, you're hip, Mojo. Just admit it. You finally became hip.
No, that's not true at all.
Oh, okay. All right.
I can't find a new TV show to watch for anything. I can't find anything I like.
Oh my gosh, I have everything in my calendar. We'll have to DM each other and I'll tell you what's going on.
The Game of Thrones. I love the Game of Thrones and I keep having to watch it over and over again.
Let me just circle back really quick. I love the conversation about TV, but in the last hour, the guy was a schmaltzy apologist talking about why we should admire Schmittler, and then literally was denying people's reality. Like that is a full-blown racist. Like that is a racist dude.
Oh, absolutely.
Our town is not known for its Hispanic community. It is not. Sadly, I'm one of the few Hispanics that live in this town. And yet we have a bunch of women that are white now patrolling areas they know ICE will be on just to document what is happening in our community, because a lot of the workers may be Hispanic. And it's heartbreaking to see people being pulled over for nothing other than being brown.
Oh, white people are stepping up so much. I mean, I'm being real. I know I compare a lot of times and joke about white people, but they really have. It just lets you know that there's still like people like him But eventually, hopefully, they all will just, ashes will blow in the wind. So
the funny thing is, earlier he was talking to Hale, and Hale called him out, but Hale is not. He's not a good kid either. So I don't know. It's kind of rough. He has his own.
Haley?
Yeah, he has his own prejudices, and he called him out right away.
He's a creeper.
I know, and he called that dude out. He called that dude out right away, immediately on the panel, for what he was.
Yeah,
called out by Hale. That's a rough one right there.
How many generations? We had, almost 400 years of plus 400 and I think 8 years of systemic racism in this country, and 60 years of quote unquote voter rights acts where we're supposed to kind of level some of the playing field and at least not being overtly racist, which all the southern states are now racing right back to with the way they're trying to redistrict. And it's
my picture up here, this is from Tennessee up here, where they just what did they do, the gerrymandering thing?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that picture right there came from that, yeah, as they were walking out of the courthouse, the people.
Disgusting. It's a race to the bottom.
Yeah,
and what's really sad, as a Democrat, we're supposed to take the higher ground, and at this point, I'm like, no more. I'm sorry that the Supreme Court in Virginia said no, but the legislature and the people spoke. So, and it was a 4-3 decision. If this were a Republican state, they would go, we're not going to pay attention to that ruling, and we're going to go with the maps we want to go with.
Yeah, but even that Supreme Court ruling was based on a technicality, right? It wasn't that it was unlawful. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, and I was trying to have this conversation on Penny's Live. Not the best place to have the conversation, but they're just so entrenched in the team sports aspect of it, where I was up there with Pallet, and we were both saying that, listen, they have to fight back, but what we really need is a federal amendment that gets rid of gerrymandering for all states.
Agreed.
That's what we need, because at the end of the day, states within their state constitution might write something in their law to allow for gerrymandering to happen, but we need an amendment that just gets rid of it altogether. And you have to have some kind of neutral body that rewrites the districts.
Right. All maps should be done within a year of the census coming out, and they should be drawn by a nonpartisan committee. I don't mean 3 Democrats and 3 Republicans. I mean maybe like an NGO kind of level where they look at where the population is and they divide everyone by 720,000 people, because I think that's what each representative now, or add more seats to the House of Representatives because our population has grown, right? So give more seats to those who have more population, whether it's Texas, California, New York, Iowa, I don't care, Florida. But let's start, for me, doing kind of grid. Wherever 720,000 people are, that's where they are. And stop the gerrymandering. But you know who won't vote for that? Republicans. Every single time a federal law has been put in front of Congress, Republicans have blocked it.
They could just have better policy. If you want to be popular and win elections, have better policy. It's shocking, I know, but just have better policy. Get people to fucking vote for you. That's the whole point of a democracy.
We're getting rid of a district that for 100 years have represented Memphis. And now they're breaking it up. 100 years. It's time that all of this stops. And I see people in the comments saying, well, Democrats started it. Well, maybe we should all end it. Who cares who started it? Right now, Republicans are racing to finish it. And the two Democratic states, California and Virginia, they went to their people to vote on it. They didn't do that in Texas, in Florida, in Tennessee. They didn't put it to the people. So
what they don't realize is that we're failing right now. This country's failing right now. And what they don't realize is that when we fail, they fail. So I guess they just want to bring it to the ground, I guess. Fort's Brown, bring it to the ground. That should be their new saying.
I just think it's time. It's time. No, Mojo, it's time for us to vote. You know, I was talking to my Gen Z daughter today. We celebrated Mother's Day because she's going to play basketball tomorrow with her friends. It was with my blessing. She asked first. I said, fine. But we went out to dinner, and I was like, you have to vote. She's like, my vote counts for nothing.
Who are you guys voting for? You can tell
For me, I'm kind of like Mojo, blue no matter who, right now.
I'll mostly vote blue, to be honest with you, but I'm not against if it's somebody with a I like, what's his name? Is it Thomas Massey? But I mean, I don't live in it where he's from. But I like him.
You like Massey?
Yeah, I do. I think he's a good person at heart. Yeah, I don't like Trump. I would never vote for Trump.
I honestly think there are a lot of good politicians on both sides of the aisle. I think they just have different ways of coming up with solutions. I think the Democratic ways are always going to be better, though, including Massey. I don't think Massey's a bad person. Generally speaking, I don't think Rand Paul's a bad person either. I think that I could probably go through a number of Republicans that I wouldn't think are bad people. Fuck, I used to like, who's our Secretary of State right now? Marco Rubio.
I did too.
When Rubio was in the debates, I thought he was the best pick for the Republican Party, but he didn't get anywhere close to winning. But he's kind of a smart dude, or he used to be anyway.
Little Marco?
Yeah, he's kind of a smart dude, and he just kind of turned into a fucking bowl of pudding when he started working with Donald Trump.
I think we might have a dark horse, though. I think one of the Republican governors, if they're smart, I mean, Rubio and Vance are too tied to Trump. And I think if this party wants to remain a party, then they need to think outside the box. Otherwise, it should be known as MAGA.
I don't think that they're too tied. I don't think they're too tied to Trump. It's just the simple fact that they're doing their jobs.
Yeah,
if they get orders from the president, they have to do them.
I don't think Rubio is. I actually think Rubio's in over his head. I think he would rather be out. I really think he would like to be fired.
No,
but
he wouldn't.
I don't see, his face does not look like I'm here for this. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'd never vote for J.D. Vance.
I'm sure Rubio is getting a lot of orders and things to do that he does not want to do. He may even be in conflict with them. But, I mean, that's the price you pay to play the game. If you want to be a Republican frontrunner in the party, like the next election cycle, you have to fucking toe the party line. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, you really don't. You can't piss off the party.
What I think is the best for them. Republicans, to have any chance of winning, I think they have to pick Tulsi Gabbard and keep her around in the Trump administration the entire time.
I think Marjorie Taylor Greene might be interesting.
No,
she's definitely running.
Whoa.
She's too crazy.
I know she is. I'd never vote for her. I do not support her, but she does talk to MAGA. And
yeah, but they don't need MAGA. They need like a normal Republican this time.
What's normal anymore?
I just said Tulsi Gabbard.
No, she's a Dem. Oh, please. She is not.
She's a center. She is a center of the road Republican.
He has to win independence.
Neocon, yes, and she would because she's like a center of the road Republican.
How do I get the hookup?
She absolutely does.
Green and Andrew Hamilton, where they're just one person that you can vote for. How do they get the hookups?
I don't know what that means.
I wouldn't vote for them either, so I don't understand where you're going with that.
The county superintendent of schools and the auditor controller. There's only one person to select from, and there's just one person.
I bet if you run around TikTok and ask conservatives, every Republican you run into, ask them what they think about Tulsi Gabbard for the next president as a Republican. Tony down here seems to think it's okay. Adrian seems to think it's okay. These are two Republicans here. I think that they do very well. And I think if we pick AOC, I think that she would be a good run against AOC. I also think that she would probably beat Gavin Newsom.
She absolutely would beat Gavin Newsom.
I want to AOC or Bernie, but I know that might not happen, but that's where I would like to go.
The Democrats can absolutely not put a male up against a female candidate.
They cannot. Absolutely not. It has to be a woman. Yeah, if they pick Tulsi Gabbard, it has to be a woman running against Tulsi Gabbard. And that would be the guarantee of our first woman president.
I disagree. I think it is going to come down to policy. I think it is going to come down to solutions. I think people are over the cult of personality, Mojo. Not gobbledygook.
These aren't cult of personalities. Tulsi Gabbard is not a cult of personality, and neither is AOC. They are policy hawks.
If we look at raw data, the majority of women in 2024 voted for the Democratic Party. We had a female candidate at that time.
I know.
If the Republicans are the only ones with a female candidate, we will lose that edge. It's basically guaranteed.
I don't agree.
Wait a second. There's somebody.
I don't think she's going to hold up.
Somebody running for governor named Barack D. Obama Shaw.
What?
Do you guys know that?
Who?
There's somebody running for governor of California, and their name is Barack D. Obama Shaw.
I have no idea.
Really? I wish Barack would come back. I loved him so much. I know a lot of people don't, but I did.
His Republican Party continues to back Trump, and he doesn't become a lame duck. And all of the policies and his vanity projects continue. I don't think the Republicans have a chance regardless who they put up.
They do if Democrats do stupid shit.
Well, they do, but Tulsi is not going to come against Trump. So basically,
she doesn't have to.
I think it's too early
in the administration.
I think it's too early, and if the Democrats
it is too early.
If the Democrats don't paint a vision of a better America, it doesn't have to be just by policy, but you have to sell a vision. We're at the point now where people are disillusioned with government, and if you can't sell the vision that that policy and that government can work for you, there's no hope. It doesn't fucking matter. You need to sell a dream, you need to sell a vision, and you need to start selling that vision now in the midterms and continue that domino effect up until 2028. That's really the only way that they're going to win.
And I don't
who
think
that candidate is, I don't fucking know, but they need to sell a vision of a better future.
If they're still Team Trump, they'll never vote Democrat, though. If they're still Team Trump, I'm sorry, they're despicable people, and they'll never vote Democrat. They just won't do it. Now, I'm not saying that about Republicans. I said Team Trump. I would. No. Mm-mm. This is a game to them. This is the Super Bowl to them.
Correct. It is a game of politics.
Mm-hmm. And that's sad. That's really sad. It's really bad, too.
It's been sad for 250 years. We still do it.
Wait, so nobody knows who this is then? Barack Obama. Shaw.
No. There's people that have the same name as me. I don't know who that is. Maybe they got named after him. Let's see. When did he first become president? 2008?
Yeah. But this person has 4 names. Barack D. Obama Shaw.
Wouldn't they be 19? Maybe. Am I right? Maybe they got named after him while he was president. Yeah, my daughter. Yeah, she could. She can vote now, and she was born a year before Obama became president, so maybe somebody named that person after Barack when he was president.
Or even as senator.
Yeah.
And 19 running for governor?
I mean, I don't know. You have to look up their age. I mean, you're right, but I don't know. I mean, they're running for governor?
Yep.
I'll look them up.
Your preference, Democratic. It's got to be a super nobody, right? I mean, I don't know. That's weird. I thought we only had like one candidate left.
Yeah. Pants, is that the primary election or is that the actual ballot?
This is the actual ballot. The statewide director primary election.
It's a primary.
It's a okay, yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't mean it's not important.
Well, it's somebody that's probably not going to win, even in the primary.
With a name like Barack Obama, I don't know. I think they might have a chance. Because what if it is Barack Obama and he's just trying to play a cool card? You know,
His original name is Cecil. This person's original name is Cecil Shaw.
Oh, so they're just a con artist?
They changed their name. I mean, I don't know.
That's not cool.
Cecil L. Shaw III is the original name. I think they might be probably a nutcase, to be honest with you.
Yeah, what? Who? That's crazy. They changed their name to be Barack Obama for the fucking governor? That's crazy.
No, I have a question. You don't actually think that the Republican Party would put a woman up, do you?
What?
I mean, she belongs home.
They did. They had, I think, 3 women.
Not
at
as
least
president.
2 or 3.
Not at the top of the line, robot.
He was he changed his name in 2013 during his military career because he was inspired by President Obama. That's what he said.
You guys hear about all those aliens that they're releasing the videos about? Sounds like Trump's trying to cover up the e-files by releasing.
They're really just drawing at straws now. I mean, I knew somebody called it. I don't know if it was on
Nikki Haley
or if it was one of the late night hosts. Everything's kind of blending together. But somebody called that being like, "Watch in the next week or so, they're going to start releasing the alien footage." It's fucking true.
Nikki Haley ran in 2024 against Trump for their primaries, and I believe also in 2016.
She did, yeah. In 2016 she ran. She got second place. She got like 20% of the vote. Like, yep. She wasn't unpopular. She beat out DeSantis, who was supposed to be like, I don't know, the Joffrey in waiting.
Tulsi Gabbard will never.
Is DeSantis still around?
I think that's a really harsh wording. I would never say never.
You just
I'm sorry. I really don't see how a former Democrat moved to the Trump administration where she's been sidelined and people are exhausted by Trump now. It's way too long. It's too far in the future right now to determine, I think, on either side who will be the candidate. And I do not think AOC has a chance either. Maybe as VP, but certainly not at top of the line. She just doesn't.
That's rude. Why do you hate women?
I don't. The funny thing is, I was accused of that I don't think men are ready, particularly white men, are ready for a woman president, sadly. Hence the comment from the guy before, the conservative before, or the racist, who said a woman on her period or menstruation cycle.
Yeah, he seemed to like thick Latinas, considering he was a passport bro.
Well, again...
Yeah, and if both parties have a woman as a candidate, I mean, he doesn't have a choice. He's just going to stay home, which, I mean, that's great. If racists want to stay home and not vote, I'm for it.
Absolutely.
What is Tulsi Gabbard's race anyway?
She's Polynesian. She's
Okay.
native Hawaiian.
Yeah.
I know she was something. I didn't know what. I'll vote for anybody that just doesn't like Trump. God.
And she was always a conservative, but she was running on Hawaii, and Hawaii is a very liberal state, so she had to run as a Democrat if she wanted a chance to win. But she's like the most conservative of all Democrats you could possibly imagine, which is why she didn't do good in the primaries for Democrats.
She won't do well either when her positions and her ability to speak on policy. It'll be interesting, the debates. Let's just
put two women. One will win, but if you put one woman, she probably won't win. I don't think men will vote for AOC. If you put one woman, I think she'll lose.
That might be true, but if they're both women, then we get a woman president, and I think I actually don't even think that's true. I think if Tulsi Gabbard becomes the candidate for the Republican Party, I absolutely think that Republicans will stand up for her, because they want to be the party with the first woman president. They want to be able to put that in the history books as the Republicans had elected the first woman president.
How many people voted for Miss Harris?
A lot, did. I don't remember to be not enough.
So yeah,
70.
A lot of people would
73 or 74 million or something like that.
Yeah, a lot voted for Hillary.
75 million or something.
Yeah, a lot voted for Hillary too.
Well, yeah, Hillary actually had 3 million more votes than Trump. So I think that a woman can absolutely win right now. Just has to be done in the right way.
If you guys say it, I believe it, because you guys know more about it than I do. But I don't know. I guess I get scared because of the past. I guess that's what.
I think Harris would have won this if she came out against Israel.
Or she knew how to speak English in a very direct way.
Harris speaks English just fine. I think not against Israel. Maybe just a little more pro-Palestinian. If she came out a little more pro-Palestinian, I think she would have won. I think she would have won a couple of the swing states from that alone.
And had more than 100 days.
I'm confused about the English comment, though, the English thing.
So I'll explain that. What I mean is plain spoken English. So when you talked about some of her policies, it was for first-time business owners that opened up a business in a certain area that had to be in business for 3 years before. It was too complicated.
Okay.
Whereas Trump would say, we're going to give $25,000 for XYZ. So it isn't that she didn't speak English well. I loved her. I voted for her. I'd vote for her again.
You're saying people didn't understand. I get what you're saying.
Sometimes you just need to dumb it down.
Yeah, Trump knew how to speak chud, basically.
Yeah. You need to dumb it down for the American people. I'm sorry.
A lot of American people are dumb. Yep. I agree with you, though. I agree with that.
Thank you for letting me explain it.
Unpopular opinion, or we could have had the first plausible position would be Joe Biden never steps down, just continues through the run in candidacy, and maybe even gives up. He absolutely would have fucking won. And that's part of the problem in that particular time period. The vote had already happened. That's why when they put up Kamala to take his spot, she just got all the electorate. There are a whole bunch of people that voted for other candidates in the Democratic primary that were super excited to see their candidate, who had a whole ass campaign, like go back to the vote and possibly win, to just get shafted.
Who?
Well, like RFK, most of his supporters went to fucking vote for Trump.
But that was when Biden was still the top of the ticket, right?
I think Biden
No, they went to vote for Trump in November.
Yeah, Biden would have won again.
You're misunderstanding me. You're saying, explain the primary was held, Biden won the primary, even into
So what always happens, like in this particular system, what always happens is once we have a Democratic primary and we have the candidate that's selected, all the previous opponents end up endorsing the winning candidate. So all that support usually ends up going towards the winning candidate. In this particular one, like all bets were off. There were people that felt fucking shafted because their candidate that ran a whole campaign didn't get. I just gave you one.
You gave me one. RFK, but you're saying a whole bunch of candidates. Can you name anyone else other than RFK?
How many other candidates were running in 2024?
It's not my argument, Boba.
In the Democratic primaries.
Not my argument. It was yours.
Then go look it up. You asked for one, and I gave you one.
The only one I saw was Biden.
You said who, and I gave you one.
North Coast Threads, can I get your age and who you voted for, please?
I just turned 50. Do not recommend that.
Does it hurt? Does it hurt?
It hurts my heart.
I want to make it. Don't say that.
Actually, everything else hurts too. Yes, it does hurt.
You have a sense of humor, so I'm going to assume that you are a liberal.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
See how that works. That right there tells you all you need to know.
What part of Ohio?
I thought there was no primary in 2024.
For the Democrats?
Yeah.
No,
there
we had
was. One. No.
Primary happened in March.
No. There was no primary.
No, we had it. We had a primary. We voted for the incumbent.
Yeah, it was only RFK and the crazy woman, right?
Yes,
the one that,
there was one other person, I think.
Yeah, there was another male. I forget his name.
Oh, the guy from. Oh, he was the guy from Guam or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. I just voted for the incumbent in the primary. I remember that.
Yeah,
I
we
voted
did have
for
a
Biden.
primary, so it was just
right.
RFK.
Well, RFK tried to take his name off the ballots too. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, he tried to get his name off of every ballot.
He couldn't in certain states.
Yeah, so he was still on the ballot in some states.
If he can get on a ballot, anybody can get on a ballot. America's crazy.
Yeah, well, don't tell the whalehead that. The fuck?
I think they should run Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham? What the fuck?
Get that fucker out of South Carolina.
Lady Graham?
Lindsey Graham
I want them to run
he
him.
stands no chance of winning anything ever except for how to drink a mint julep in the best way possible.
Mojo, he's won South Carolina for how many years?
And be a closeted gay man.
Yeah, he's absolutely closeted gay man.
How many years has he won South Carolina? There you go.
I voted in this primary for Gina Hinojosa as governor of Texas. If she wins, she may actually, she's tossed it around. She may actually run for the 2028 presidential election, which would be Democrat from Texas.
That wouldn't be bad.
I would vote for
Hinojosa. When I saw that last name, it reminds me of one of the hosts on a show on NPR. I can't remember. Her last name is Hinojosa as well. So when I saw the last name, I'm like, is that the same person? It's not the same person. But that would be super cool if she wins in Texas. That'd be awesome.
That is a wild story, Mojo, I gotta say.
I'm sorry. It wasn't a wild story. Fuck off. I wasn't trying to amaze everybody. I was trying to think of her name, the one on NPR, if you guys hadn't heard of her, but I can't remember.
It's a pretty common name, so I don't know.
Hinojosa? I was going to say, I don't think I've ever heard it before. The one on
that's a joke.
I want y'all to listen to this. Lindsey Graham.
It went over as good as mine, didn't it?
Lindsey Graham has been in there since Strom Thurmond left. Strom Thurmond left only when he was 100, right?
I don't know.
After he voted against the Civil Rights Bill.
Yeah, at some point, Strom Thurmond was the third in line for the presidency, and he was like the oldest Had he had something happen to
Like
the president, or vice president?
Well, Grassley, what is he? 90? He's 96, right?
96 or 98. I think there should be an 8. I don't support term limits. I never have. But I do support age limits. I don't think you should be older than maybe 70 when you're voted into office for senator or president or, but every 2 years.
I would say 67, just like the retirement age for everybody else.
Yeah.
But a lot of people work in the 70s. So,
like any old people doing any job whatsoever, but it's okay if you run our country. Like what?
Yeah, this is crazy. Take away their driver's license.
How can you say this as a 50-year-old man? Holy crap, you're like right up there.
I'm saying
Good
by
one.
the end,
That's funny.
Considering the way Social Security is now being pushed, I personally think your age you should be able to leave office before 75. And if you cannot, so you're done.
Amen.
That's probably a good idea. I don't mind that at all.
Same with the president. Yep. Sorry, the dogs.
Saying, with South Carolina, you can tell who Republicans are. Look at South Carolina, Republican state, Strom Thurmond, Lindsey Graham. That's it. During my lifetime, they have both been. I was not born. Strom Thurmond was in office before I was born. He hid the fact that he had black children, and he voted against the Civil Rights Bill, and he still got voted in until he literally fucking unalived.
Yeah, we're seeing too much of that recently. You shouldn't ever get to the point where somebody dies of natural causes in office. That should just not happen.
Both sides should feel that way, because like both sides dislike the current guy and the last guy because they were so old and sleepy and weepy and rotting on their hands now. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, it's gross.
What the hell? It's nasty.
I'm sorry. I would still take Biden over what we currently have every freaking day of the week.
I would too.
Sure.
Any day of the week.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to force you all to go away in a sec. So is there something else you guys want to talk about real quick or no?
Also base, take away our life privileges by age.
Oh,
By
I was
age.
going to say something.
Go ahead.
With all the closeted gay men on the Republican Party, if we ran Pete Buttigieg, do you think they would vote for him?
No. No, they hate themselves. What makes you think they would vote for Buttigieg?
I don't know. I just thought it was funny. Because I love Pete Buttigieg.
He's great. He is so fucking smart. I would love to see him making policies and shit. I mean, he would be fucking great. But honestly, I think we have a better chance of getting a woman than a gay man.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
Which is so sad to say, but I agree with you.
Yes.
I think we
All
need
right,
to run.
Mojo, does this mean you're going to be back, or did you take a vacay, or was this a forced vacay?
It was me.
Catch it up on TV.
No, looking for peace.
Yeah.
There was.
There you go.
Sometime this week, just a lot of shit hit me at the same time, and I just didn't want to go live for a few days. So.
Well, bless.
Mental health matters. Mental health
Did you
matters.
get a piece? Did you get a piece, man?
A piece?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I was better off in the comments, huh?
A little bit, maybe.
Hey, North, you said Ohio. We're at in Ohio.
I'm in Akron.
Okay, I'm in up north of Youngstown.
But it says North something. North Carolina.
Hey, Mojo, I'm happy to see you back, but I also understand while you were gone, since you're one of the few people I go live with now, I really appreciated the peace of mind as well.
Well, I didn't even know you were gone because I was gone for peace of mind. I haven't been on here, so I'm glad you got a break, Mojo. I bet you cooked some good food.
No, I kind of just lounged. I did a little bit of yard work and listened to some lives, but I didn't do much of anything. I just took like a few days of doing fucking nothing, doing shit all.
You know what? Here's one other thing I did, Mojo, real quick. Besides reading 3 books, I put a playlist from my childhood. The songs I remember kind of growing up to like the age of 14, before I really had my own like ability to control the music I listened to. And I got to tell you, it was kind of fun going through all the different music and brought me back some really happy memories.
I grew up in the 80s. That's the best
of
music.
that time. Yeah, well, if you grew up, then
Mojo,
creating a playlist that made you happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's somebody that's running that's named Dennis Bilodeau.
What'd you say?
Yes.
D. Bilodeau.
I'd vote for it.
Did you say dildo?
Good vibrations.
Did you say dildo?
Yeah, dildo.
Who the fuck would have a last name dildo and not change it?
I would. I know that.
That's
somebody
crazy.
that wants to be the lieutenant treasury or something.
Well, on that note.